The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Everybody, welcome. It's Gary. It was Gary's fault.
Yeah, everybody knows that. You don't even have to say it at this point.
Actually, Gary's covering for me. I have just been bailed out of prison from the UK for speaking words. So Gary said, "Hey, I'll fall on my sword for this one."
The challenge will be to get through this stream without going back. So, can you do it?
Can you do it?
Hovering outside the house. Lesbian Nana's hovering outside the house with a pepper spray. So let's see. Let's see. Hi, everybody. Oi! You got a license for that fucking math. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the real BBC. It was meant to be. We're meant to be doing 2 weeks on Gary's, but I can't be here next week. Oh. I'm going to be away on holiday with family. So for the next 2 weeks after this episode, it's going to be on Gary's channel, and I'll be rejoining not next week, but the week after. So Gary was kind enough to switch it onto my channel this week so I can go off on holidays. Thank you, Gary.
Oh, you're welcome. I did it for reasons. I would have said no if I wasn't doing anything. So fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
So, speaking of which, how you doing?
Really good. Really good. Just kind of took an easy week. I mean, I streamed every day, but I took an easy week when it came to video production. We finally finished a brand new video last night. We finished recording, so I'm very excited about that. It's a monster. But yeah, just chilling out with family. We're gonna start our Alien-thon tonight. Junior has not seen Alien or Aliens because I'm a horrible father.
My God.
Yeah. Got attacked earlier in the week. Somehow recovered. My channel recovered somehow. And here we are. Back on the real Beeb. The real Beeb.
Yeah. Molly.
Hello.
How you doing?
I have nothing huge to report other than even I was like, I should make a joke of that. I was like, no, I won't. I'm an adult. I also don't want to go to jail. So the last time we did the coverage for Hot D episodes over on EFAB every time 2 episodes are out. Fucking did 7 and 8. Right at the end of the recording, I realized my voice wasn't actually picked up the whole time. Everyone else's was.
Oh my God.
Check out the whole thing. All the conversation is there except my voice. And
you're gonna have to dub it all in.
So that was funny. That was suggested, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that'll take more work than just re-recording it.
Yeah.
Like me going through and just trying to guess what I said and re-recording it.
You know what? I hate that. Honestly, though, the more time it takes with 7-8, the Discord around House of the Dragon is fucking insane. It's insane. It's not just 2 sides, it's like 5 sides of insanity right now. And a lot of it has to do with Game of Thrones season 8 too. I love how that's being brought up. Some motherfucker on Twitter is like, see, you gotta bring Dan and Dave back. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. Get him out of here.
You almost want to say like you were there. You wouldn't say this if you were there.
Yeah.
Kit Harrington
there.
Says mistakes were made
Yeah.
making a rushed Game of Thrones season 8. The Jon Snow actor opens up about ending to the HBO hit's final season and why the Snow spin-off didn't work out. What a shock.
First of all, Kit, where did Game of Thrones touch you? I need to know, because he has been complaining about Game of Thrones since he fucking left. It ruined his life. He drank. He went into rehab. He said he was non-binary because his mom gave him a Barbie once because she was poor. Like, what the fuck happened to Kit Harington on the set of Game of Thrones? He's lost his mind. He's gone crazy. Yeah. Freaking Hollywood and kids. Dude, the fact that they're coming out now, and it's really safe to say, Mahler, kind of funny, right? Kind of funny, because I remember a lot of people defending that show when it came out and said, this is the way it was supposed to be. It was perfectly planned out.
George gave the notes.
All these mad people don't count. Where have you heard this before, by the way? It's a silent minority. It's like, oh, fuck off. And then 5 years later, always this. Yeah, you're right. The Last Jedi sucked. Yeah, you're right. Doctor Who sucked. Yeah, you're right. Game of Thrones season 8 sucked. Yep.
But you're still Nazis and white supremes.
Yes.
Somehow.
To be fair, I mean, Ryan, but other than that, he's still a Star Wars fan.
Google loves Ryan. Google wrote a poem for Ryan. Google wouldn't write a poem for me.
Oh, well, I mean,
that was English.
You wrote your own poem last summer. Late last summer, you wrote your own poem with the help of Dan Vask, and both of you didn't make any money off of it because you waited to put it on the right platform. You did it on YouTube, and he did it on Twitter and made
on Brazilian Twitter, and he wasn't even fucking monetized.
Is that like a shaved Twitter? Is that a wax Twitter?
It's a Walmart Twitter.
Yeah.
Roland the Wretched would know what kind of Twitter it is.
Oh!
No. Let's talk about Game of Thrones. I think you guys should do the 7 and 8 and just talk more, like, as the discourse devolves into complete insanity, Mahler, you can cover it because it's getting more insane. And then Condell coming out and kind of throwing HBO under the bus.
Yeah.
He threw HBO under the bus because we were supposed to get 10 episodes, I said all season, by the way. We were supposed to get 10 episodes. They cut the Battle of the Gullet. He came out and said what it is, which, God damn it, it's like, shut up, just say battle. So we're getting the Battle of the Gullet.
It's become obvious now because 9 would have been the battle and 10 would have been the aftermath. That's how they usually do the format. It's so clear when you look at the season being cut off at 8. You're like, oh, I see. So they didn't really reshape the whole season. They more so, because wasn't there I can't remember who said it, but it was something like they couldn't do a lot of fixing because of the strike. They couldn't like put effort into.
That's understandable. That's totally understandable. I get it.
Yeah.
But if I was HBO and you saw how popular, I mean, they have a schedule. There's the actors. I get it. I would have done one more episode, shaved another one off, fast tracked the season, done something because ending it there and then just coming in and go, arbitrarily it's got to end at 8, and then like, well, we're just going to push off the Battle of the Gullet, which is like your halfway point, right? It's a little beyond your halfway point, and it's the biggest battle. There's other battles that have more impact. But
Gary.exe just crashed then.
No, I'm trying to choose my words. It's like, without ruining anything, but it's the biggest. It's the biggest battle, like by far. And its impact carries on throughout, right? And then there's other battles. There's definitely.
Here's my concern as well. If that was a season 2 thing where they, when writing, felt it was budgeted for, as in like we can afford to do 10 episodes with the battle at the end of the season. If they've now chopped that off and they're going to put it at the beginning of season 3, that heavily cuts into season 3's budget.
Yes.
Which means that season 3, whatever it was, is now going to be smaller.
It's going to be Battle of Gullet Aftermath.
Aftermath,
so
and then
ruins
probably one
the pace.
more battle. Yeah.
It completely fucks up the pace of the show.
And all of this because HBO arbitrarily decided to chop 2 episodes off?
Yeah. pretty much.
Haven't really got a reason for that yet, have we? We've only been told what they wanted.
That's what we've been told, and it was budgetary prior to the strike. So it had nothing to do with the strike. It was budgetary. They wanted to save, I believe, $50 million.
They're going to regret that.
They're going to regret the hell out of it. It was a fucking dumb decision. And people are pissed. And I believe they'll have a little bit of an audience dip. Now, they can get it back, but it really depends on how that season 8 is paced. Sorry, season 8, season 3. Sorry.
Yeah.
Instead I said season 8. It really depends, and they're going to have to move around story. So they're going to have to rewrite a bunch of shit. And guess what, Mueller? All that's going to cost them more money.
Yep.
So that $50 million they saved, they didn't save. They saved it on the books for a minute. It's going to cost them $100 million now. Because they're fucking retarded.
I still think that when season 3 rolls around, the trailer comes out and it's filled with places exploding, fire everywhere, loads of dragons screaming at each other, blood and fire. People are going to be like, "Oh shit, here we go!"
Yeah, and to the point of even the people who have been covering Game of Thrones for a long time, longer than me, and don't like either of us, but I completely agree that like back in the day, one of the biggest complaints I heard about Game of Thrones in the first 4 seasons was it's slow.
Oh yeah, dude, I had friends who were like, I don't know about this show. Like, unlike Walking Dead or even Breaking Bad, this show takes a while to have anything happen. And of course, the argument you try and give is, well, things are technically happening constantly. It's just it's a different kind of things
it's
happening.
Subtle. Yeah. It's dialogue. It's subtle. It's like, that's what I love it. And the books are the same way.
It's chess.
It's chess. And I mean, Game of Thrones, that's the name of the first book, but it's always brought in that like all these characters are players on a board, and the one controlling them is the old gods or gods.
You know, when South Park's coming out at the time, they had the episode where Cartman just kept taking characters into his back garden and talking to them and organizing backstabs and betrayals. I forget how it goes, but I'm pretty sure next door neighbor at one point is like, "Stop taking people into your back garden, betraying people." The way they would do it, you'd just be talking to some random person, maybe even like a cashier. They were just hard cut to walking with them in his back garden and talking about how they're going to betray people.
You know, I was thinking, I don't do it often, but I was thinking, Mueller. I was thinking about Fox. I was thinking about Alien. Our friend Chris Gore saw Alien. We'll tell you what he thought later. But I was thinking about 10 years ago, you know, when Prometheus came out and Fox and Days of Future Past and, you know, and then later on Deadpool. And I'm like, you know, considering what we've been through now, you know, Bridgerton's a big hit. That makes the world a sad place. I think it makes it a sad fucking place that's a big hit. Give me Betrayal in Gardens over and over again with Game of Thrones from even 10 years ago compared to what we have now. But Fox, you know, Prometheus, the two and Covenant were at least attempts. At least they tried to do something different, you know. I'll give them credit for that. And I think Fox as a studio with their IPs was experimental. Yes. I mean, they failed at the execution a lot of the times, but they were experimental and they got some really good shit out of it. And compared to now, they look like fucking geniuses.
Oh, that's how I described the Fox run of X-Men. All of it was experimental. You had ups and downs, not only as whole movies, but also within the movies themselves. Like there was like scenes that were just like, holy shit, that's amazing. And then scenes like, what the? To have the Professor X's death, which I think was handled pretty well in X-Men 3 versus I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Like, what the fuck is this movie? Like that movie was a mess in so many places, but then like there's just some little bits where you're like, oh shit, that's pretty good. Then of course having like the Wolverine, X-Men Origins, and Logan. What a crazy Wolverine trilogy, you know? What the fuck?
I actually genuinely really like the Wolverine.
I do too.
A lot of people do.
I like the Wolverine.
I think that's a good film.
It's kind of forgotten about somewhat.
It is,
I think, in the selection, because I think Days of Future Past stands out to everybody as like the cool best one for the new era. But you do have First Class, I think, close behind it.
First Class, very good.
Everyone ignores Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix because those are both fucking abysmal.
Yes.
What was the second one? When the new bunch?
That was Days of Future Past.
That was Days of Future Past.
Yeah, First Class and Days of Future Past are
Days of Future Past is
fucking solid, good movies, man. Love them.
Days of Future Past is exactly the kind of like, what if we did this? And everyone goes, oh, yes, do that. That's a real good idea. And then it's like, yeah, but it involves
Days of
time
Future
travel.
Past,
Kind of thing.
No Way Home before No Way Home.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
That's
Well, having the two
Yes.
Professor X's talk to each other, that was so fucking cool.
that was
And
cool.
they found a way.
They found a way.
And I did like the Hugh Jackman cameo telling them to fuck off.
In First Class, yeah.
In First Class, yeah.
That was really
Go fuck yourself.
First Class is I mean, if you go back and you watch that, there was some exceedingly good stuff in there.
Dude, a period piece. The soundtrack was fucking great.
I remember it was when they introduced that version of Quicksilver that everyone adored.
Mm-hmm.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good in Apocalypse, and then
No, well, they just
ended-
repeated the scene. They just repeated the scene
then-
over, and it wasn't as good in any capacity.
ended up in WandaVision for a cameo. It was
Oh,
Ralph Boner. Remember that shit?
Oh, how can I forget?
Christ. What the
They're
hell?
gonna bring the X-Men back, and we're just gonna do a like
Well, his girlfriend was hitting him, so
a fake
It's
out.
so insane. It's like they actually did have the opportunity to drag him in through multiverse shenanigans as a replacement Quicksilver, and then they just made him a boner joke. God, remember when that was the biggest problem?
Oh, Jack Schaefer, who is returning in 1 month. 1 month, ladies and gentlemen. The great Jack Schaefer, who thought it was silly Billy to bring back Quicksilver as Boner, and didn't know who Mephisto is. Is doing Agatha. She's writing the whole thing. They gave her a whole gig. Some up-jumped soap opera bint. I'm when in Rome.
You're being some British language there.
Yeah, I like bint. Sounds good. It just sounds insulting.
Did you guys see the leaked Daredevil Born Again trailer?
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts you'd like to share?
What did I think? I'm so fucking skeptical and cynical that it's really hard for any thought to breach that wall, so to speak. But honestly, I think it looks slightly better than I would have expected from Disney. That trailer, I was a little bit like, okay, but I feel like it's designed to trick me anyway.
That Echo trailer had a lot of people excited that Echo was looking pretty good.
I don't think it'll ever get me excited. That's never going to happen because of how much I don't trust them.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm really kind of hoping that they kind of let the people who make this shit do this shit. As in...
Well...
What about you, Gary?
Hang on. Daredevil Born Again.
Bjorn
again. DB. Bjorn. It's Born Again, to be honest with you.
Born Again. Yeah.
Born Again, because they already did the Born Again storyline in season 3. Let's see who the writers are. Okay.
Well, I just briefly then, while you're doing that.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer was looking okay. And then then they showed Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, why would you show me Punisher in this trailer? Because you should never have showed Punisher. That should have been purely for the show. Well, so why would you do that? And then it gets my brain thinking, well, you did that because you ain't got anything. And so you had to put it in. So that got me worried.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all that they would want to be like, look, you like him, he's back. Here he is.
It's like I big fan of Deadpool Wolverine film. I thought it was a great film. I loved it. A lot of fun. I had a ton of fun with it. I still, having seen it now, think, why did they put X-23 in the trailer? She should never have been in the trailer.
Yeah. I'm like writing credits are actually weird. So somebody who worked on the Punisher TV series. Well, first season was okay. The rest of it was shit. Where are the writers? Who are the writers for this? Writers. I see directors. That's weird.
Do you see an army of producers by any chance?
I do. You know who I don't see? I don't see Stephen Denai. I don't see Drew Goddard.
Yeah.
So no.
I thought
no. I have
one of them
no
was
thought.
involved.
Okay, did the costume have horns on his head? Yes or no?
I believe so. Yeah, and it's back to red. It's back to red again.
Yeah,
it's not this stupid
there
fucking
needs to be a
shit.
fucking DD on his fucking chest too.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm a huge Daredevil fan, so I'm gonna fucking watch it. Absolutely. But
it looked watchable. It looked watchable, and I thought the trailer looked probably the best.
They showed his yellow mask, and it pissed me off. In the background. He was walking through a room in his yellow mask.
Yeah. There's three masks, isn't
because
there?
blind guys need shit displayed, all the time. Like, what the fuck?
Wait a minute. Which order did I put them in? Goes out with the silver one on.
Because a blind guy needs his yellow fucking mask displayed.
Oh yes, Oscar Saucer's big DD fans, big Daredevil fans, Daredevil Extra.
I don't know how people couldn't be big Daredevil fans. He's so fucking cool.
But Charlie Cox, I mean, that I watched the first season again of the Netflix show recently.
It's the best thing. It's the best thing Marvel's ever done live action. Period. End of story.
Good.
It's better than NCU. Better than any MCU film. It's better than fucking anything other than Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1. I'll give you that. But
okay, I got a confession.
Yeah,
I went to the cinema this week. Last week on Tuesday. I've got no fucking clue what day we're on. I went to the cinema
it's Tuesday, the day we always do real BBC. Okay.
Where does that fall in the week? I have no idea anymore. I went to the cinema last week. I saw Deadpool Wolverine again, but I went for a double bill.
Yeah.
So I saw Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Had a cheeky Nando's, and then went back and watched Spider-Man 2 because they're showing all of the Spider-Man movies in the UK each week. So this week, Spider-Man 3 is coming out. Week after, it's the Amazing Spider-Man. A week after that, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Week after that, Homecoming, etc. So I saw Spider-Man 2 at the cinema again, and it was fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Second best superhero movie ever made.
Correct. Behind Batman Returns.
Behind Superman.
Behind Batman Returns.
No, Batman Returns is like 3 or 4.
Whatever. So, and it was just like, I
really great.
Really, I think Deadpool Wolverine's great.
Fucking everything. Get out of here.
Watch Deadpool Wolverine first.
Have a lot of live stream.
What?
You hear me?
Shut up, you tart. Shut up, you tart. And then poll. Okay, we'll do a poll in a second, chat. We'll do a poll in a second. I'm okay with that. So yeah, saw Deadpool Wolverine, had a great time again watching it. Fucking loved it. I think that film was a ton of fun. Watched Spider-Man 2, and it's just like, fuck me. It's in a league. It's in a completely different league. It was so damn good. Man, I was choking up. I was legit choking up at the Aunt May giving Peter the $20.
Oh, that seems brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is just heartbreaking. She's so good. The actress is so fucking good. And then the whole part where Peter confesses to what happened with Uncle Ben, all that. Oh my God.
Hardcore.
Yeah, and it was the music score. Is Danny Elfman, of course, fucking brilliant.
You know what's great about that scene when he confesses that is you feel something that's not mentioned. You feel that she is all he's got. Like, his parents are dead.
Yeah.
His parents are dead. Uncle Ben is dead, and the last thing he's got to confess to her that it's his responsibility, or he feels responsible.
Yeah, he
feels responsible. It's not really his fault. He feels responsible, though.
Well, he says what happened. He tells the truth about what happened.
Yes.
And he said the only person who didn't do the wrong thing was Uncle Ben.
Was Uncle Ben.
And then your heart just fucking snap. And she just slowly she just moves her hand away from his, and you're just like, oh. And it's just it's just so well written. It's a good story, but the characters are fantastic. It's so character driven, character focused. He's just a kid. He's a kid with fucking, regular kid shit. And he's got this fucking superpower. and he has to try and balance it's fuck. Just watching that, I was just like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in a different dimension.
You are
watching this film. I really do.
Somebody turned on CERN.
Yeah.
One too many times. We were sucked into a pinhead black hole. We didn't even notice.
Correct.
And now we live our lives constantly
mirror
hopping.
Universe.
Yeah, well, constantly going through the mirror. Every day we wake up, we're in another universe.
Oh.
I mean, I've said it before, but like the state of so many of our franchises, like, did we end up in literally one of the worst possible results? Like, how is this happening?
Yes, we're in the universe where Game of Thrones fell apart, Star Wars fell apart, Doctor Who fell apart. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be something good out there to balance all this off.
We have a couple of friends, but none of them can counterweight it, though. You know, like there's some stuff that's doing okay and good, but none of it is a counterweight.
I think,
but like I said, Deadpool Wolverine, I really like it. I think it's a great film. But then I watch it next to Spider-Man 2, and it's not even fucking close.
It's not even in the same league. But it's fun, and I think we can't undersell. Sorry to spoil a little bit of my next video. Like Marvel making even the and I mean it's slight right now. The slightest attempt to change is huge, and you have to understand this because you guys know they're the biggest franchise in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's equate it to Elon buying Twitter. So what Disney needs to do is what Elon did to Twitter, but that's not going to happen. So you have one subsidiary with enough power to break away, and they're the leader of the pack, and others will follow. Well, we think they'll follow if they change. Now that's a huge if. We're talking 3 years before we even see this shit. I don't want to sell you any fucking false hope. They don't deserve it. So I would just recommend waiting and seeing. Like, let's see. I'm not going to get all excited about shit because I want to be, because I'm a fan. They have fucking burned us way too many times, and they've pulled the rug under. It certainly looked like Doctor Who was going to change. How did that turn out? Star Trek actually had a real opportunity. They made something that people liked, that most Star Trek fans liked, vast majority. And they went back. So like, don't get super excited, but like one person changing and breakaway can, especially when it's the leader, can change things. But what the problem is, the biggest problem we've had is they've been fighting the market. So the market changed a long time ago. We changed a long time. Like our taste of like, we're not putting up with this shit. It sucks. And it's all been failing. Oh, you know, and then they give us something we want and we go. And they just don't recognize that. They gave us something we want with Top Gun Maverick. They gave us something we want with No Way Home. They gave fucking Pixar fans what they want with Inside Out 2. They gave Barbie Oppenheimer, giving fans what they want. These are 4 examples in the last 6 years. 6 years. We have just seen the only $2 billion films we're going to see this year. So it's kind of like Barbenheimer. We had 2 in the middle of the summer. That's it. You know, they used to have like 9, 10, 11 billion-dollar films. So we'll see if they change. I want to be excited about Daredevil. I really do, but I'm not. I'm just not.
All right, that's understandable. It's understandable. But let's just be honest. What was the big thrill for No Way Home was Tobey Maguire coming back.
Yeah. Yes. Andrew Garfield was like the added bonus.
Yeah.
But butts were in the seat for Toby.
Yeah.
That's it. Tom Holland like had, you know, I don't love the movies. I don't, and I never will. But like there was a fan base there. So that brought in people too. But Toby brought the billions.
I mean, I'm always going to stand by the fact that it wasn't just they all turned up. It was they were treated well.
Yes. That's Toby got him in the gate, but you got to keep him there, right?
Yeah,
you got to keep him there, and the movie treated them well and
it's
was
not
fun.
Rocket science, but having Toby be the wise Spider-Man, essentially having Andrew being the rage-filled, mistake-making Spider-Man, and then having Tom be the one to learn from them both. That was just like that was practically a given. This is like, how could you not do that? And they did it. And
particularly the end bit, of course, where Tom Holland's wanting to kill Green Goblin. It's Toby that steps in, saves him. Saves Goblin. You know, it's so good. He's just speaking with his eyes. That's all he's doing, just speaking with his eyes. Is fuck, that was some good shit. That was some really good fucking shit. But you're right. You're absolutely right, Mauler. It was how they were treated. It was how Tom, Toby was treated, how Andrew was treated, and that was something. That's the kind of respect that we haven't seen with our heroes for a little while now. I'd say. A little while.
No. I mean, like, look at us pining on about movies from 10, 15 years ago, and how much we gave a shit, and how much we're not talking about, like what color anybody was, what kind of fucking politics. It was a Spider-Man story. It's a family story. It's about a kid. It's just about a normal kid. Yeah. And it's sad. It's really sad. We're on the precipice of Alien Romulus, which, is directed by the guy who did a repurposed Evil Dead movie and another one. The repurposed Evil Dead movie was a fine horror movie that wasn't Evil Dead, even though Ash shows up at the very end, but I thought it was really average. Like very, very average movie. But it's a competent director. I think he's a competent director. Chris Gore has seen the movie. Chris Gore has seen the movie, and I'll let him give his full review, but he said it's bad. He said it's bad. It just rehashes shit. That's all it does. It just repurposes, rehashes. And like, fuck, I'm so sick of this shit.
So exactly what we saw in the trailer.
Exactly what we saw in the trailer.
That's what I've been saying. Yeah. I've seen it all before. Every single thing I saw in the trailer, I've seen it all before in an Alien film, and I've seen it done 10 times better.
Yep.
I still think that if they had used everything they've done all before, but with a bunch of new characters that are interesting, we'd probably be okay with it. I'm assuming we're not getting that.
No, characters are not interesting.
Great. Kelsa Prees. Kelsa fucking Prees. Yeah, it just doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm still going to see it.
Yeah,
I'm going to see it Thursday.
I'm not. It's just no interest. Never. Hasn't been any interest.
I'm a perpetual watcher of the Alien franchise.
So am I. And and also, we cover pop culture. Kind of should watch it.
Well, it's just this one for me is like Alien. I've never known a time where I didn't love Alien 1 and 2. I can't remember when I first saw them.
Yeah. Hey, it's an excuse to watch Alien 1 and 2 again. That's the way I see it. Oh boy.
Yeah, but we cover pop culture, but I mean, I'm quite prepared to argue, is Alien relevant to pop culture? No, I don't think it has been for 30 plus years.
Probably not, but I think it would be relevant to just point out again, like the Borderlands. Who saw Borderlands here? Probably just me.
Still haven't.
Okay.
No,
it's.
But I mean, I'm here for fucking Meltdown.
Is it worse than Madam Web? A little bit, yes. A little bit worse than Madam Web as a film. Madam Web's funny. Like I got
no bad mouthing of Madam Web.
I got some genuine enjoyment out of watching Madam Web when I realized it was just so fucking bad. And I think Dakota, whatever her name is, Johnson was leaning into how bad it was with everybody's acting was shit. And I think they were doing it on purpose. At least that was my headcanon. And I was like, this is funny. They're kind of just Saturday Night Living their way through this fucking movie. But Borderlands is fucking shit. It's a bunch of unconnected action scenes where people just randomly run into each other. Kevin Hart, I guess, his character in the game is supposed to be some big dude. Right?
Yeah.
A big dude, and he's they
like 5'4",
and they make jokes about it. And so my dad sent his shortest guard to come save me, right? And then the girl, like everybody was annoying, but the weirdest thing was Cate Blanchett playing a 55-year-old woman playing like a 30-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was fucking
but
weird.
Jamie Lee Curtis is 70-something, and she's playing a 30-something as well.
30, yeah. So like the whole movie is about like it's got intersectional feminist themes. By the way, it has an anti-capitalist message at the end. It goes full girl.
The film with an anti-capitalist message.
Yes, that lost money. But the weirdest thing is 55-year-old Cate Blanchett walking around with her mommy issues, still missing her mommy. I'm like, listen, I've lost a parent 20 years ago. Okay. yeah, I miss my dad, but it's not in the way of like recent, right? So in the movie, her mama had been dead for like 40 fucking 2 years. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's half a century almost. Okay. You're not going to feel that. You're just going to be, you have accepted it by then. Okay.
Batman's over it by then, for fuck's sake, you know?
Fuck's sake, dude, 42 years. I get it. You miss your mom on Christmas, but she's gone fucking 42 years. It's so weird. I was laughing through the whole fucking thing. And yeah, it's really fucking bad. It's bad because there's no story. It's just it even just half-asses the Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Like they just throw in a couple of songs. So yeah, I guess Eli Roth left this film to go make Thanksgiving. He should not have big tempo. Borderlands, apparently, according to my kid who played the game, said it fell off anyway as a game. So like, I don't even know why you'd make a fucking movie about it.
Yeah,
first one's great. Second one's not bad. Third one's fucking awful.
This was not the time to make a Borderlands film. It's not the height of the Borderlands franchise in any way, shape, or form. So, just feels like a weird leftover. And apparently, box office reflects that.
And like going full in on the intersectional feminism, like having two old ladies come. I mean, like it's fucking. Who's gonna fucking go to that? Old ladies aren't gonna go to that. Were you trying to get to the old lady audience, the wine aunts? They must think, because Hollywood is filled with a bunch of childless wine aunts, that's what everybody, like, that's the movie going audience, you know? And it's not. Liberal, progressive, childless wine aunts, wine box aunts for Marin and fucking Hollywood with their kids named Dakota.
Okay, here, I want to bring this up.
With the nieces, I mean.
Randy Pitchford has been having a fucking meltdown on Twitter.
Who?
And it's Randy Pitchford, creator, Borderlands creator, head of Gearbox, CEO of Gearbox. He's been melting down.
What? Because his movie sucked, or is he going after the audience?
No, he's going after the audience. Obviously, Carrie. Come on,
of course.
It's current day. Do you know what happens?
Current fucking day.
Current fucking day. Fuck off. So I'm gonna turn my headphones off. Fuck this. And yeah, he's having a go at people who are calling the film shit, all this, and he's just having like the biggest meltdowns, writing like reams and reams of replies, and then when he's being challenged, going, "Look, I don't have time. I don't have time."
Oh, fuck off.
It's just like you are literally replying fucking paragraphs to people, and then you're like, I don't have time to do this, that, the other. And then I just want to show this tweet specifically. Morley might find this one quite amusing. It's funny, people are just finding out who the Borderlands boss Randy Pitchford is. Here's an article from 2019. Amidst legal battle, Gearbox CEO says he left USB stick of porn and company secrets at medieval times.
Randy Pitchford is like practically famous for being a piece of shit, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
It is kind of funny when there's cross-pollination of communities and history. It's like, oh, you don't know who this guy is? There's probably like there's going to be loads of YouTube videos about all of his, like, you know, events over history.
So is he just like, he made a game, but he's like just kind of an idiot, or is he a freak?
Well, he's the CEO of Gearbox. Okay. And, you know, Borderlands was a huge hit when Borderlands first came out. Massive hit. Great game. Ton of fun. But yeah, it's like Bobby Kotick, I guess, as well. You know, these guys are just absolutely plowing themselves full of bonuses, you know, being fucking shitty with staff. And it's typical kind of thing that you would expect. And then the pious hypocrisy of when something that he would make a lot of money from for residuals, I would imagine, should the film do well, is having a meltdown because film ain't doing well. And he's threatening people now with a new Borderlands game. So
is he gonna fill it with a bunch of old ladies crying for their moms, missing their moms? Like,
I fucking hope so.
Oh my god, it's a girl who, maybe this is how the game goes. but it's the girl who's the key to everything
Yeah.
gets usurped by the girl who's the key to everything who literally has keys. They have a key. They have a key to some little fucking thing because they have to get to the vault. They have to get to the vault where the previous civilization was, whatever. So they have keys. Dude, she sprouts wings and becomes a super. Maybe this happens in the game, but like it's so fucking Captain Marvel. Like she was great all along. It just took her. It took her till she's almost retirement age to fucking realize it though. She's like, great, I get these superhero powers for like 5 years and then I get a senior discount. Like
she went through the menopause and the transformation.
The transformation was after the menopause. Like, what the fuck? It's like, oh man, males 14 to 35 or where 18 to 35, whatever the fucking demo is. It's 18 to 35. Really gonna love this, man. Lots of Kate Blanchett fans and fucking Grace Randolph's like, Kate Blanchett fans are gonna like this. It's like, where are these armies of Kate Blanchett fans? I mean, I think she could still play Galadriel now. She'd be better than Morphid Ratface Clark, but dude, it's like, so I was the only one who liked it.
What a fucking headline. Borderlands debuts with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Zilch. Nada. I think it's up to... Is it up to something like 5% right now or something?
You ever read this, Az?
No.
You know who it's by?
Battle Pope.
No, who did it? Image? No. Mark?
Yeah.
Kind
of a big team made another big book called Walking Dead. Kirkman, Tony Moore.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. And of course, Kirkman.
What? Screwed over Tony Moore?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh.
The way it goes, man.
The way they're so
not show friends, it's show business, man. There's a bunch of backstabbing. Well, I mean, that's the comic industry, especially the comic industry, man. Whew,
thing is though, video game movies are notoriously poor performers. Even if the video game franchise is phenomenal. The Resident Evil game series, I mean, that was the film, which had no correlation to the games, was only continued due to Blu-ray sales. That's what kind of bumped those up.
Okay.
But notoriously, they do shit. Why on earth they would have thought I thought he'd taken the piss when he said there's a Borderlands movie coming.
Well, okay. Here's a theory. Here's a theory on why. I don't know if video games movies, they're going to keep trying. And if anything is made well, that's the exception. If it's a good story, blah, blah, blah. But like the whole concept of it is like when we wanted to see our superheroes in live action, it's because we saw them in comic books. We never saw them in live action. So it was really novel and new and really fucking cool. And you were seeing something you never thought you'd see. Well, shit, you play the game. You're in control of the character. Isn't that kind of a better experience than watching somebody else's interpretation of it? Yes. So it's going to be kind of difficult.
It's a first-person shooter, and you're pouring you're sort of pouring yourself into the character as opposed to playing a third-person game where you're playing the character and the character usually has decent character development. Again, Resident Evil in question. Let's say something like that. Whatever. I don't care. I'm never going to see that fucking film. But this film has gone over $1 billion. It flew over $1 billion on its second weekend. Third weekend, end of the second week, I should have said.
End of the second week, yeah.
End of the second week. So 2 weeks, $1 billion. Wow. Regardless of what you think of the film, I think we can all agree that a lot of people have found it highly entertaining. And that ultimately is what we've been missing in recent times. So there's plenty of money to be had clearly, I didn't think this would do $1 billion before it came out. I thought it was probably going to 700 to 800 million. And I thought that would have been pretty damn good. Considering, but no.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I was like, man, I don't know, it was 800 or 900. But then after I started seeing the promo, I'm like, billion. For sure, billion. If it was a better movie, it might have made 2.
I mean, there's definitely parts I would have liked to have elaborated on, and would have very much liked to have had a section about seeing what happened with Wolverine, as opposed to it literally just being spoon-fed on in script. Actually seeing the attack on the X-Men, the deaths of the X-Men, seeing the vengeance, seeing the kind of fall, the killing of the good people and the bad people. That would have made to me a lot more sense. There's elements I would have got rid of. Stupid TVA bitch. Nobody gave a fuck about that nonsense.
B-15. Yeah, Jesus.
I did. I thought Matthew McFadden camped it up just like a British villain does in an American film. But yeah, there's tweaks for sure. There's massive tweaks for sure that I would have done. But I came out highly entertained, and I think we can see why people are just happy with the film. And as much as we went to the cinema, we had a good time, we had a laugh. We didn't feel like Ryan Reynolds was talking down to anyone or berating anyone. Quite the opposite, and makes a bucket of cash. It's not a hard formula. It's a formula that Marvel have forgotten about, though. But let's see this change of direction that they're going to do, where that's going to take us.
Well, I mean, yeah, we know what they have to do. They have to get away from Captain African American. They got to get away from America Chavez and Miss Marvel and Agatha and Echo and all that fucking shit. They need to bring back Cap, Iron Man, Thor. They need to recast them, because there is no future with the B and C team in the bench. There's no future. No, and there never has been. And it's not even a good bench. Marvel has a really fucking good bench. The reason why I always preferred Marvel to DC is because I think Marvel had a lot more fleshed out characters on their B and C list than Cosmic Girl and Elongated Man, and like,
hey.
I love DC. It's goofy. DC's you're goofy. It's goofy. Now they made some of that goofy shit really fucking cool later on, okay? Granted. But I think Marvel just always had a better B and C list, and DC was always like just that top tier. And yeah, like fuck, they have so many rando weird characters, and their bench is deep. That's what I'm trying to say. Like Ghost Rider is in my top 3 favorite characters. He's like a C-list character. I understand that, but he's fucking cool as fuck. And they didn't lean into that. They bypassed bringing in a Ghost Rider, and when they did, they put him on fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and shit, and made it Ghost Driver and not Rider.
Yeah.
Fucking lame. By the way, if you're in a car and you're riding, you're the passenger. You're the fucking passenger. You're Ghost Driver if you're in a car. Okay.
That, by the way, that went up on HasLabs, didn't it? HasLabs tried to do a Marvel Black Series Ghost Driver, and it never got funded.
Never got funded.
With the Deadpool Wolverine, right? The way that we do it on here, as well as have done for years and years, is that there's a story being told in meta, cultural story in a way. We're trying to track where it's been, where it's going, what it is right now. I do feel like my assessment, same with essentially what we do on EFAP, is going to be very different trajectory than what I think you guys would consider this chapter. Like, we see Deadpool Wolverine as kind of disastrous news. I don't see it as much different than episode 5 of Ahsoka, where I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh fuck, like everyone adored that and it was nothing. It was substanceless garbage. Oh yeah, but you know what I mean when I say everybody.
Yeah.
I see Deadpool Wolverine as like,
Deadpool Wolverine is not as bad as Ahsoka. Come on, stop. It's not.
It's worse. Unfortunately.
No, it's not.
If
Not even fucking close. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are not in Ahsoka. That's fucking incredibly insane to say, but I love you.
The thing about Ahsoka is that the Will Between Worlds was already a mechanic in the universe in canon, so adding that didn't damage anything. And then the biggest sin of that, like,
where was it introduced in canon exactly, Mahler?
Well, it would be in
fucking Clone Wars, or Rebels or whatever.
I'm saying whether or not I want Clone Wars to be canon doesn't change if it's canon.
Yeah,
Ahsoka was like really, a lot of it was really boring. Like nothing happened in it.
It's got no compelling characters. It's got a bunch of people crossing their fucking arms, and you can't even come close to comparing at least the personality and the gravitas that was brought with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Like, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. So, you can say, hey, plot wise, there are inconsistencies that are similar, but character wise, they're not even in the same universe. Not even close.
Okay, so performances, Hugh Jackman knocks it out of the park. I never doubted that. He never has. It's been amazing in all of the Fox movies from start to finish. I was going in ready to fucking adore that movie. I've said this a couple of times.
I know you were. Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Quite attempting to defend it on a lot of our trailer analysis, but the damage it did to the end of Fox and its legacy and Logan is almost fucking immeasurable. Like, I had a little rant at the end of the EFAB thing. I don't really want to repeat it here, but like it's but I don't know how to do it in a short way. Like the ending of Logan wraps up and seals off the Fox universe, as far as I was concerned. This opens it back up and then like peas in the wound a little bit. It doesn't give the respect I think it absolutely deserves.
I like Logan as a film. I hate that it ended the Fox universe. Fucking hate it. So I consider it, and they're like, do we know? We don't have a straight timeline for the Fox universe. To me, Days of Future Past is how it ended.
Well,
like that's how you should. Yeah, it's all over the place. So like we're in a future now, but the thing is, the time doesn't line up between, First Class. First Class was supposed to be a soft reboot.
Yeah,
that's all. Like they were gonna do away and so there's no clear timeline with that. So I mean, I watched Logan again, and it's just really fucking depressing. It's really cool how they tried something different, and this was Fox being experimental. And there was a time where Logan's a very well done movie. That's why it's crazy that James Mangold that's the same guy who made fucking Indiana Jones. It just does not register in my head. But at that time, Deadpool came out, Logan came out, and Legion. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Legion. First 2 seasons are really fucking good. Third one is post, I believe, 2016, when Hollywood started going insane. And it's one of those shows that fell off because of the insanity that was going on politically in Hollywood. But the first 2 seasons are fucking crazy good. Like really, really fucking good. I highly recommend you watch them. That's an X-Men show that was on Fox. And it follows and it's like, I wasn't a huge fan of the comic book, and it's a cool show. So highly recommend. So they're doing a lot of fun stuff there. But again, dude, Ahsoka's better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay, motherfucker, you've listened to like zero arguments. I haven't even been able to make them. I keep getting interrupted. What exactly? How could you say like, oh, you're wrong? You haven't even heard what I have to say.
Come on, I'm listening.
So Logan as an ending in the timeline is one thing. I would go over how like it doesn't feel spiritually in line with what Days of Future Past does, but I'm more talking about the meta, what it says about the Fox universe, what it meant to building movies further, the efforts it took to make superheroes more respected and understood or engaged with, right? Like it boosts them all and then bows out because they're just not being as successful in whatever way you want to look at it. But I have my issues with the film, but I also respect like the final scene and what it means for Wolverine as a character and then Fox as a universe. It's so much that is completely annihilated by Deadpool in a way that didn't need to happen. We could have had a different Wolverine. They brought back what would be the most wanted Wolverine. Most people don't even like happy-go-lucky, I'm with the team and we're fighting for good Wolverine. They like the aggressive, angry, fuck you Wolverine. which is exactly what they gave us. He's almost the same as he is in Logan. He's an alcoholic. He's disenfranchised. He's an asshole to everybody. But by the end, he makes the right decision because he has a heart of gold. They don't even pretend that they're doing anything other than undoing what that represented, both meta and in story for itself. Then, of course, there's all the inconsistencies. Like, he's not even close to the worst Wolverine possible, like in terms of what they established in comics, but then what we can all think about theoretically. The worst Wolverine wouldn't be a good guy. It's really weird that he was still a good guy. He wanted to help the X-Men. He was just fucking drunk. Like, he would have been there had he known that was going to happen. And then, killing people afterward. We don't even know the nature of what exactly he meant by that or how it all went down. And then, throughout the film itself, the relationships and how he develops, I don't think it was justified at all. Even his speech that was brilliantly performed, I didn't get. Like, he knew Deadpool for 5 minutes in that scene. I didn't really get it at all. It felt more like the audience's history.
Just in the car.
Yeah. It's I could go through more of him, but I'd rather then go to Deadpool. I feel like this film might have even given more disrespect to Deadpool 1 and 2, right? The films that did their best to get a foothold in being respected and viewed through having less to go on. It's they have lower budgets. They have to do R rating. They have to use D-list characters, or maybe I should be more generous and say C-list or something. I mean, Colossus feels like
D-list, C-list. That's fine.
Yeah. And they make them characters. They bring in a bunch of new people. They develop their own story. I think Deadpool 1's awesome. Deadpool 2, weaker, but still pretty strong. Deadpool 3, practically repurposing Cable's story and stitching it in an awkward way onto Wolverine. There's a lot that matches up between those two. The dynamic between Deadpool and Cable is practically been repurposed into Deadpool and Wolverine. The Cable himself has been completely knocked off and deleted from the fucking story. Same for Domino, same for Russell. These people, whether or not you have whatever you have to say about them in their stories, they're not remembered, they're ignored. And then Dopinder and Colossus.
Lost his accent, by the way.
Yeah, Megatonic, Warhead, all of them are sidelined in favor of famous people. Like, Deadpool 3 became what Deadpool 1 was making fun of for a long time. Deadpool 3 tries to continue making fun, but it is absolutely what it's making fun of. I've gone through all of this. It drives me nuts. It's such a soulless corporate movie that so many of the lines that are meta are exactly just trying to placate you so that they can do the thing they want to make fun of as well. You all hate that multiverse. You all hate how bad everything's gone. You all hate every last interaction with how things have moved forward, gotten stale, sacred timelines, fucking anchor beings, TVA. It's all pointless, annoying exposition that makes no sense and doesn't even barely justify a story happening. Then, getting into how everything doesn't make any fucking sense and that it all relies on the appearance of these characters. I've said before, but I mean, I'm willing to commit at this point. There is no difference between what they did to Chris Evans as Human Torch and Reed Richards with John Krasinski. I would argue that the Human Torch is possibly worse because he was actually established. He was a character we actually are happy to see. He's someone from a movie that actually happened. At least with Krasinski, we can be like, well, whatever. That was a fan cast and it's a made-up character. Maybe he's a shit Reed Richards. This was not a shit Human Torch. But he got a nut shot and then his skin was torn off. Sabretooth got immediately decapitated. Elektra, Blade, and Gambit, they got a fight scene and then they were eaten by a fart dragon. I don't understand why any of this is considered interesting or respectful beyond the appearances of things that we recognize. I've seen a lot of praise for the comic references. I actually think that that's an example of people letting their guard down because of the fact they haven't seen that before. That is a key jangle through and through. That is them trying to be like, look, we like the thing that you like. We're respecting it. They've done nothing with it. They just show it. The Calvary thing, that's pretty much what that is. It's substanceless. It's just like a pitch. And it's cool, but it's not story. It's nothing. And
it wasn't meant for story. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, no. This is a story. See, Doctor Strange Mom, not a parody. Deadpool, Wolverine, a parody. That's what it was.
Is Deadpool 1 and 2 a parody?
Yes.
A Deadpool 1 and 2 canon?
No. The way Deadpool exists in the comic books is he is there to. He's a cyclical creature. He's almost like a trickster god who comes in and kind of is outside of a universe, breaks the fourth wall, gets popular when things run a little old. Razor Fist made a great tweet explaining this. Deadpool and Wolverine might be the end of the superhero thing, and Mahler might be right. Because it's a parody. It's a parody of everything that's happened. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be. Doctor Strange Mom was supposed to be earnest and serious and became a parody. That's the biggest difference. But we're arguing. I'm not like, dude, 7 out of 10 movie, tons of flaws. Absolutely agree with a lot of this stuff, especially Deadpool 2 is light years better than Deadpool and Wolverine. Go look at the fucking credits. They're on Twitter. Somebody just posted them on Twitter. They're so fucking good. They're so fucking good. But it's parody. So
to be clear,
that's a huge difference in this. So they make that very clear in the opening credits when they take the skeleton of fucking Wolverine from Logan and kill a bunch of fucking
DVA,
which is fucking funny. But yeah, but what we're arguing is this is worse than Ahsoka.
I have a question. Yeah, my question
that's my problem right there.
Well, how is this worse than Ahsoka? And why is Ahsoka good then?
Ahsoka isn't good.
No, Ahsoka isn't good. I'll rephrase that. Why is Ahsoka better than Deadpool Wolverine?
It's a damage assessment. So Ahsoka barely does anything except I was specifically talking about that episode 5, overall quality. It's like Ahsoka should have died but didn't. And then some people have the Force, I think, where they probably shouldn't. There's a couple of silly things, and then it's mostly boring. Deadpool does like significant damage to Logan. Deadpool 2, Deadpool 1, and has absolute complete nonsense. It's written like shit. There's nothing in it that's of value substantively. A lot of it is just trying to sort of do some magician tricks to keep us in a position where we're like, holy shit, that was so well done, when nothing about it, when it comes to writing, is of anything celebratory. The question I really want to ask is, what do you think Deadpool 3 is closer to, Airplane or Hot Fuzz?
I think it's closer to probably Hot Shots 2 or Airplane.
Yeah.
That's what I would say it's closer to.
Have you, by the way, Mod, have you seen all the Clone Wars? Just FYI.
No.
Okay. Because when the Clone Wars started,
Clone Wars
just
ass rapes George Lucas's lore, and George Lucas's sidelines signed off on some of it. So
when the Clone Wars started and Ahsoka's brought in, she was hated.
I know.
As a character. Absolutely hated.
Yep.
So Filoni did, Filoni et al. Did a job of trying to revamp Ahsoka. And by the end of Clone Wars, Ahsoka was actually a very light character, developed into a much light character. Now nobody fucking likes her again. Because she isn't a character anymore. She's a fucking bland nothing bint. So all that work that was put in the Clone Wars to take a character that wasn't liked, completely 180 it, make her a beloved character, and then take a beloved character and fucking stick it 10 foot under the ground was what, before The Acolyte at the time, was the worst watched Disney show, worst interest in that show. And this is the group of people who are now going to go forward and be in a movie, according to Disney, after the Rey movie. Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and the Green Fucker and all of that. This film's done $1 billion. There's a lot of interest. People are happy to see Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. Nobody's gonna go see Mandalorian and the Green Fucker with Ahsoka bint doing nothing.
Okay, so yeah, I would happily concede Ahsoka's got damage as character as well, but it's like dwarfed compared to what they did to Deadpool.
I'm not arguing that they damaged Deadpool, especially with his relationships, and
but why wouldn't
get him back together? And I tell you right now that's because they don't want heteronormativity in fucking Marvel still.
But it doesn't matter, right? It's a parody.
It is, and this is going to be outside of whatever MCU. This is the Fox universe. They're going to bring it in. He'll be in Secret Wars, and he'll probably always be in his own little world.
But we're not saying. I'm not saying there's not problems with the film. I've already said in the
tons
stream.
Of fucking problems with the film.
There's certain
massive problems with the film.
Where we're at now,
it's the third best Deadpool film by far, and it's not as well directed. It's not as well written. The story lacks any real heart at all. Yeah. We can all agree on that.
Okay, with an assessment like that, I do wonder, like, why.
I have fun. I had fun because.
Yeah, but
I don't have that assessment that Gary has, though. I actually thought there was a lot of heart in it. I did get invested in Wolverine. I did
disagree.
get invested in Deadpool.
I think
Like,
they're really good. I think they're really good actors. I think they have. I think charisma from actors can carry a lot of stuff. Charisma
Sure.
and talent and actors and endearing characters, and I like them, even though they're not the versions that we're used to seeing. Like this is definitely, you know, all the rumors of this is going to be a different Deadpool than from the Fox Deadpool. Yeah, I would say that it feels like we're in a multiverse. This is like this is another Deadpool.
But it's a great. To me, sorry, Baldy. There's just one more thing, and I'll let you speak. Promise. There's a great. I think there's quite a funny line at the beginning of the film, in as much as it wasn't disguising anything. Where Deadpool says, "How are we going to get through this film without completely destroying the legacy of Logan?" Well, we're not. Even they know that this is. We're bringing Hugh in. People want to see Hugh. That's the whole point. We've got to stick him in the costume. We've got to give you some proper fucking fan bait and some yucks and some good times. And in my opinion as well, some heart and some heartfelt moments. And I am unashamedly a fan of this film. But sorry, you continue. Sorry.
It seems to me that had Doctor Strange decided then that it was a parody at some point, that all of the issues would just be gone, as opposed to something like an Airplane, Hot Shots, whatever have you, where I don't celebrate them because they're crap if they were to be considered like a straightforward film. It's lucky they're labeled parody. I think they're excellent at being parodies. Deadpool 3, I think, is shit through and through. And I don't think, unlike something like, let's say, Airplane, like Deadpool 3 has several moments you're supposed to take seriously, very seriously. You're not supposed to be like, this isn't happening, or this is goof bullshit. You're supposed to understand that Wolverine feels immense guilt for the mistakes that he made, and that's going to motivate him to make change in future. Very straightforward character stuff that we had in Deadpool 1 and 2 that was done way better, and it was way more justified. We already know this film went through a shit ton of changes. They had different histories and different storylines ready to go, but we have to move and cancel them all around, especially with what happened with Kang. It's almost like it's all but confirmed that he was going to have some level of reference or role in this film, but they had to undo that and change it. So what we ended up with, as far as I'm concerned, is getting away with it because of the fact that nobody wants to take it seriously as a story. We want to instead ignore the bad through saying it's a parody or that it's nonsense, and celebrate the good by, for a second, pretending it's not actually. It is canon, it is meaningful, it was good, when it's the good stuff. But the bad stuff occupies like 98% of the script.
Well, that's subjective.
I disagree. I would be curious to think, what do you think is well written, and then I'd be curious to discuss that with you.
Well, then we'd have to break down completely break down the film. Yeah.
Well, of course.
So like,
to take for the film starts with them traveling to Earth 616. That's already a huge fuck up. I don't even know how they managed to do that. Cable's device can't do that, and why would he do that? And why would he try to join the Avengers? It's like character, plot, and world already get fucked immediately by creating a beginning that I don't even think was necessary. And then
because it's a comedy.
Wait till you get
it's a comedy. That's why. Because comedy doesn't rely on things necessarily making sense.
I disagree.
I don't disagree at all, because I think one thing that all of us have said from the outset before we've even seen this film, we have all said, I think in Real BBC and other streams, if this is going to have zero fucking effect on the rest of the MCU, because this film in itself is treating everything, I think, in a bubble. Yeah, Marvel are wanting to do some little interconnective stuff, but in terms of how this is going to affect Black Captain fucking African American America, it's not. Is Agatha now going to get an absolute massive bump because of Deadpool Wolverine? No. Is fucking Ironheart going to get fucking baller ratings and 10s out of 10s because Deadpool Wolverine did fucking 1 point whatever it ends up billion at the box office? Not in the slightest. We all stress that we believe this will be a self-contained bubble of entertainment that we're just going to get yucks up. I mean, you're not going to get yucks from it. but we're probably going to get, yucks from and have a good time with. But that's it. That's it.
I'm not making reference to how it affects anything other than Deadpool and Wolverine.
But when you're dealing with a comedy, though, and something with a fourth wall breaking comedy, something that references real life names, real life people, real life events, and yet still tries to exist within an established continuity.
This argument was never made for Deadpool 1 and 2. There was never a time where he did a thing in Deadpool 1 and 2, and we all went, well, it's a comedy. It doesn't count as his character.
Well, I mean, do you think... the
first Deadpool...
and the first Deadpool, we don't even know which X-Men mansion he's in.
That doesn't hurt Deadpool's character whatsoever to break the fourth wall. It's part of his character.
Well, I think one of the things he says in Deadpool, the first Deadpool, he says, which Professor X are you, Stewart or McAvoy?
So when I say his character is damaged when he wants to join the Avengers, gets denied, and then stops being Deadpool 6
So you're talking about the journey from...
I'm referencing the meaning in Deadpool 1 and 2.
Meaning in Deadpool 1 and 2, which is something that really did make the movie special that they just removed. They absolutely removed. And probably didn't recognize that at the time. This is why Sean Levy's like this darling director that they shouldn't have. But going out, but this is how he functions in the comics. He's fourth wall breaking. He comes in, and this is why I've never liked him in the comics, because it takes you out of the story. But this is supposed to be purposefully out of the story. And the fact that they weaved in some kind of actual story, gave him actual character and a journey in 1 and 2 was phenomenal, and what made him special. This was just a gimmicky movie that was fun. It didn't completely suck. It didn't shit on fans, and I was somewhat entertained. I had desire to see it one more time, and then I'm kind of good. And I agree with a lot of your assessments, but this is not worse than Ahsoka.
I don't care about that. That's like it's not really relevant compared to the damage I'm trying to assess from this.
That's the only thing I was arguing. I'm not arguing that you are wrong.
Well, no,
that's the only thing
on how bad it is. If you gave it a 7, I'd be like, I struggle to give this a 3. I'd be like, have to be harshly pushed up to it.
I love you, man.
No, I know.
But
we don't need to do all that. Of course, I fucking love you. I don't care.
But
like,
fucking
we disagree on this shit.
Ahsoka's shit. It's shit.
Of course it is. I made a video about how shit it was.
Yeah,
but I
so
also think this is shit.
And you can think that, but if we're gonna like compare shit,
it's not just that this is shit, right?
Let's just say this is a harder, more passable shit, and Ahsoka is just a shart that won't end, that has you on the toilet for 12 hours. And yes, you do lose a little weight, but you feel awful and you have to call in sick to work next day.
Luckily for us, Ahsoka didn't do very well. Like it didn't, for all we hope, we're going to get a fucking season 2, whatever, but hopefully
we are.
Season 2 does badly as well, if it's as bad as season 1, okay?
We're definitely getting a season 2.
Leaving the fucking window open that Dave Filoni could make something good, maybe one day, one century. But I'm trying to say that with this doing as well as it has, because that's what we kind of began this was talking about, this box office, I have nothing but cynicism for the future, because
I don't either. They're going to learn all the wrong lessons. Of course they are.
This is the wrong lesson learned. The movie was the result of learning wrong lessons. This is a result of learning the wrong lesson from No Way Home.
Well, I mean, bringing back RDJ, like, wait till Secret Wars. If you're upset now, wait till Secret Wars.
I mean,
because they're all going to be there.
They're all coming back.
I don't know where my peak upset has even been. I wouldn't want to track it. It's been a series of fucking ramblings. I just, with this, like I said, the damage done to Deadpool, to Wolverine, the shittiness of the story in and of itself, and likely what it's going to result in the future. We probably will be getting spammed with Wolverine now. He's probably going to be in the Avengers films. They might even do a Deadpool Wolverine 2, and it is going to become consumerist, like hyper slop. It's not going to have any meaning. It's just going to be rushing in to show us shit. And that, I feel like we were getting somewhere somewhat. MOM, I love the conversation about it these days. Most people agree, and I say, like, even people who like the movie, that the Illuminati shit was embarrassing, terrible. Even the actors have said so. Yeah. But, like, take for example, Blade, Elektra, and Gambit. I feel like the power of seeing them was huge, But in retrospect, I think over time people will start to look back and be like, man, you know, they could have done more with them. We could have had meaningful scenes about their characters put in exchange for, like, if you knock out Nice Pool and give all that time to Blade, the amount of shit we could have got out of him would have been crazy good. And you could have had him talk about his universe, but all of it would be meta. He could be like, you know, it started out and we were strong. You know, all they almost start doing it, right? They say, like, we save people, and then Gambit's like, I didn't even have a chance to save people. That's a very meta line because he never got his film.
Yes.
He doesn't know where he came from. We can do loads of stuff like that, but we didn't. We have him saying, I'm the only Blade, which I like, but that's one line. It's like, the little advantage taken. What was Elektra even like? She turns up, says the line about Ben Affleck that can only be meta. It's like she's breaking the fourth wall, and that's supposed to be Deadpool's character, not hers. And so then she gets into the fight, and this awkwardly edited her slashing here and there, sort of, and then she's eaten by the dragon. I don't see that as respect to Elektra. I see that as an awkward, like, hey, it's Elektra, you remember Elektra, by Elektra. Which is very similar to how I felt about the Illuminati in MLM.
Well, they said in the film that they wanted to fight. They wanted to get their ending. Wanted to get their ending through fighting, and they got their ending through fighting for their worlds, because their worlds rested on
their will.
They did, because they fought to let Wolverine and Deadpool get back back into the other universe, so they could stop the time and all that kind of stuff.
It was too late for their universes, but we could give them a chance. They didn't even know.
So do you lie in purgatory, or do you go out with a bang? And they wanted to go out with a bang.
Well, they've been in purgatory for ages. I don't see what difference it makes, these two coming in and out. And then, of course,
because they helped two people go back to save a universe that they couldn't do to their own.
Well, they didn't even know that was a potential. There's no reason why Cassandra should have let them win, but she did. When they came in, she could have killed them all instantly.
I mean, we could play those games with films.
So my point is that there's no reason they should have seen this as giving them anything more than they usually have. I don't see why they would have thought this had any more potential than usual. Like the characters themselves are barely there. They're stand-ins, and then they're supposed to be like, it's good that they're getting this final fight because it seals off their stories, ? I don't agree with that. I don't think what Elektra needed to complete her stuff from Daredevil to Elektra was a final fight. I don't really I was curious what they were going to do with it, because I remember the Elektra movie, but I don't know what, like Andrew Garfield. Like, I can see what they can do with him. And then we knew from the trailer that they might do he's the one that saves MJ thing. I remember speculating on it, and then they did, and we were like, oh shit, that's pretty good, because blah, blah, blah. With Elektra, I had no idea what they were going to try, but they didn't try anything. They just had her do a fight. Blade did a fight. Gambit did a fight.
It could have been a CG version staring at something like in Flash. Oh shit. Woo. The weakest part for the cameos for me was fucking extras playing like the Russian from Punisher,
or Juggernaut,
and then the extras didn't look anything like him. Like the Russian from the Punisher. Did you see the Punisher movie? And you see the Russian, and then you see the one in this. You're like, they don't even fucking look alike. They're just a dude wearing his shirt. What the fuck?
I think it's hard to tell.
Must have been a variant from another world.
I think as well, like
Black Bullseye,
it's all missed opportunities, because you can spend the same time, but you can have way more substance, way more meaning, and I think that would make the film last a hell of a lot longer in people's minds, as well as being seen as a quality thing.
It won't.
Something that shocked me, I think, that we talked about was when they got to the diner. I was kind of like, here we go, finally, we're settling down for a little bit. Wolverine and Deadpool can have a meaningful back and forth. By the time that scene ended, I was like, shit, man, all that was in the trailer. I didn't really learn anything. And we were more than halfway through the film at that point. I was like, Jesus, we're running out of time. I quite hate the use of X-23 as like a crazy, fun, awesome Avengers type bonus of she's there and she's gonna fight along too. When how vulnerable
she's gonna be a fucking bitter fuck. Are you kidding me? She had to leave her country, and the one person who helped her fucking died. She's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Be an Avenger.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it doesn't, because they've confirmed like, oh, that is the very one from Logan. It's like, what does that even mean, man? That in Logan she got zapped with the TVA, sent to the void, teamed up with these guys to try and
Why
get them
did
out
she
of
get
the
zapped
universe.
by the TVA in Logan's universe too? Was it
When
so?
it
It must have
decaying
been
anyway.
it was decaying anyway because it lost its anchor being, but then she would have had to be a variant. You don't trim like normal people
No, you
according to
don't.
the
Yeah,
rules of the
you're
TVA.
right.
Yeah.
And but the
Yeah, but
even
I think
weirder
we can
thing
all.
is,
I think we can all agree the TVA are fucking wank.
Retarded. It's
Yeah.
just fucking
even
retarded.
weirder is that they asked to save her. We don't know if he saved Blade or Elektra or Gambit. For all we know, that they died. I don't know. We don't see them. But
We don't see
X-23
them, but it implied that they were saved.
X-23 is saved and brought back into a universe where she exists as a young girl. There are two X-23s in that universe
Potentially.
now. There are two Logans in that universe at that point. They like don't give a fuck about keeping track of anything. And I think the easy sort of obvious thing to say is, yeah, but it's a fucking goofball comedy, whatever. Not only did Deadpool 1 and 2 do this way better, but you don't have to be this shit with a comedy. You can pay attention to how these things work. And I think it creates better, more meaningful payoffs. For example, I don't know how it doesn't bother you guys more that Wolverine just gives up on saving his universe at the end.
It was because it's a it's a multiverse. Multiverses are shit. There's probably one that just quit, and why not? There's a gazillion different Wolverines now. It's
Because
like,
that was
fine.
his character throughout the whole movie. That's what motivated him to keep fighting.
It's a completely different Wolverine. They make that very clear that this is
you care
another
about
Wolverine
that character, right?
I care about Hugh Jackman and like where he starts in that movie. The context of it was not great, but like whatever. That like he came from a place where I wish they would have showed it at least. That was my complaint. Is like we just got told it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, fucking...
I definitely want to see that. But I think I correct me if I'm wrong. I think we can all agree that the vast draw of this movie is Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, as opposed to anything else. As much as No Way Home was Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back as Spider-Man. There is, of course, the piece towards the end where Ryan Reynolds just say, "Can we just stop all this?" And they're like fighting. Like, no, can we just stop all this fucking multiverse?
And then
shit?
they do it,
please.
And then they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then of course they do it because it's Marvel, and Marvel have
the
got
fact
it
that
in.
they say it, you got to give them credit for saying it.
It doesn't stop Ryan Reynolds. It
doesn't help that they do it.
Stop this fucking shit. Can we just stop this multiverse?
And they're gonna have to. Like it like as pissed as you're gonna get again. Now wait till like how do they deal with this? Do they make a sacred timeline again? How do they get rid of all the multi? They need to get rid of the multiverse. Big time. Just like one fucking timeline. How are you going to do that? Well, you're going to have it collapse in on each other, and it's going to make one big timeline of gobbledygook. That's what Secret Wars is going to do.
That's what Doomsday should be. Should be the destruction of the multiverses into a fucking singular timeline. That's what
it really should be.
So it
is the Avengers.
With,
the original Avengers fighting Dr. Doom. That's what it should be. If they want to make the most money, you have Captain America and Iron Man fucking fighting Dr. Doom. That's what you have. Not Captain African American and his Joaquin Falcon and fucking and Captain Marvel and America Chavez fighting Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. It's fucking terrible. That's a terrible idea.
Yes.
You are very much a fan of the heart in the movie. I would, assuming
I thought there was heart in the movie.
Started. We're not trying to change Mahler's mind. Mahler doesn't like the movie. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change Mahler's mind.
This started by saying that Deadpool Wolverine is worse than Ahsoka. That's how it started. Okay, we're not going to change anybody's mind on the.
No,
on
none of us here are bothered by how we feel about a film.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so the way I would describe at least part of the heart of the movie is not the Deadpool side of it. Is this Wolverine because he was reckless, because he was disinterested, and because he was almost a little bit, you could say, like I don't know if cowardly is the right word, right? But like he just didn't want to be seen as a hero almost. So he almost doesn't want to get too involved. It's like when they're like, "Come on, join us, do this, do that." He's like, "Nah, I don't know."
No, you're going to fucking die.
He's a bit awkward about it, and so goes off and drinks, and then comes home, realizes they're all dead, and had he been there, he very well may have been.
Well, he goes off and drinks. X23 goes to chat to him, and he says,
"Look,
no.
You
think I'm the wrong guy." She says, "You're always the wrong guy until you win."
Before those events of the movie, I'm talking about his history. He didn't fight with the X-Men.
Oh, you mean on his world?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Got drunk and then got so angry, likely got revenge on the people that killed the X-Men, and then went further. And he destroyed
intimated that he probably killed heroes who tried to stop him from killing him.
Destroyed the good name of the X-Men, and the whole world hates him, considered the worst Wolverine of all time. Meets up with Deadpool, who he's just trying to get away from, until Deadpool offers him the chance we can actually undo the damage. So we can bring all the people back that he killed who were innocent, and we can bring back all the X-Men. All the people.
This is leading to the end of the film. I'm totally with you on that. I think that bit is fucking the most retarded thing I've ever heard. But
what I'm trying to say is with other films, this is something that would be categorically destructive to me. I'm following because I have issues with the way the story tracks throughout. But if I'm being generous, I'm going to say no, this works perfectly well. This story is very straightforward in terms of he's had this history. He's going to find a way to solve it. He's not feeling that motivated for it. X23 gives him that extra boost, saying, despite the fact that you don't believe in yourself, you didn't either. The one that is considered the best didn't either. So you're not alone on that. You can come through. You can do this. He does. And then in his speech to Cassandra Nova, saying that the suit he's finally trying to actually be the man that would earn the right to wear that suit that Professor X wanted him to be, that sort of stuff. And then he sacrifices himself knowingly with Deadpool to save the multiverse. Not even necessarily his own universe, so I would say even more altruistic now. And then at the end realizes it's all come down to this, and the black lady says, "There's the universe being the way that it was led you to become the man you are. So there's no need."
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I don't know how they could have fucked it up. It would have been better if they had a throwaway line of, Logan, we can have a conversation. We'll sort it out off screen. You know what I mean?
You said it earlier.
Two seconds. Dude, this is fucking great. This is fucking great. Everyone fucking complains about an echo chamber all the fucking time. And here we are having this fucking great little discussion with probably three of us having difference of opinions about the most popular movie on the fucking planet right now. And we're giving people airtime to speak and get their points out and articulate them across. And you're like, take control. What? You want us to just go, yes, everybody agrees with fucking everybody. Are we all agreed? Yes, wonderful. Let's agree on the next agreed thing. Okay? This is fucking awesome. Get out of here.
Exactly.
Carry on.
What you said earlier, Mahler, and you're right. Like with the Kang stuff that they obviously had to take out, right? They rushed this movie. Photography was finished in February of this year. February of this year. So it showed. Like the script needed another few passes. It needed more time. They probably would have been able to engineer it a little better, but they were on such a hard timeline and they needed a win. Like it was like, we need to stop the bleeding. That's all this thing does, is it stops the bleeding for a little while. That's all it does. It doesn't. I never thought it would do anything other than that.
Sure. But we all, I think we actually, as I said,
dude, Marvel's already been destroyed. Can we make that clear? The MCU is destroyed. It's already destroyed. They just decided to bring in some X-Men people and, it stopped the bleeding, but it didn't fix shit. We never thought it would. But the MCU is fucking decimated right now to the point where they had to bring back the Russos and and I almost said Russell T. Davies again, RDJ.
I said that.
RDJ. And it could end the same as Russell T. Davies with Doctor Who. It absolutely
because
could.
he hasn't got the fucking Avengers.
No.
That's the problem. This is the huge fucking problem with that.
You announced an Avengers movie. Yeah, you announced an Avengers movie and like,
and you don't have any fucking Avengers, mate.
Avengers?
But yeah, they need the right thing at the end of Deadpool to her to bring back to do those timeline changes to this Logan's multiverse, and then he goes back an even better Wolverine. So it doesn't become, you wouldn't have become this Wolverine if what happened to your universe didn't happen to you. No, that's fucking nonsense, because now he could return to that universe as an even stronger, better Wolverine.
Well, and it would be in his character that if they said it would cost your life to get those X-Men back, he'd agree.
He would agree, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my point, is that it completely counters. They cut his character off at the end because
at the end, god damn, that was fucking
at the end.
Can you help my friend out? It's like, no, he went on his journey. Oh, that's not gonna make him feel better. That's not gonna. Hey, they might have been able to, but they said it was better for your character journey not to do it. Is that what? What the fuck are you talking about?
I actually thought they were. I actually thought they were going to legit die. I thought this was the whole thing. Is that they were doing all this and then they fucking sacrifice themselves. So that's how Deadpool becomes the like unknown Avenger. You know what I mean?
I would have been like I would have been fine with the TVA being like, so in relation to this universe of yours, Logan, like we can have a meeting, we'll talk about it, we'll figure this out with you. If they just said that, it would have been better because we don't have to see it. We don't have to see what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't like that whole bit forward, but I hate the TVA because I think the TVA have fucking done so much damage to. I mean, Marvel have done plenty of damage to themselves. But the TVA in itself with Loki just has done so much fucking damage anyway. I don't think you can get a good result from the TVA, period.
Well, I'm with you. This is the thing for me. The heart is almost like annihilated in the film for each of the bigger portions of it. To me, it feels like corporate heart. They threw in a handful of scenes. Like the X23 one, as much as I tried to summarize it there, like complementarily, I kind of find it so it's kind of gross. Like she has no idea who he is, he has no idea who she is, but they don't treat the scene that way. They're different universes of people who have completely different histories. They don't know anything about each other. I feel like if the film were more honest about that, it's something we talked about on EFAB. I feel like the scene would be better if they both admitted that at the beginning. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you, but we do have a history with different people, and those people, like, they mattered a hell of a lot. And then to compare him to this universe, right, who he probably at that point in the film is feeling pretty insecure about. He sees himself as like this monster, but everyone else is talking about this fucking amazing Logan. And you could even expand it to the Blade, Elektra, and Gambit are aware of different Logans of their own universes, and they could say like, oh yeah, he was pretty badass, he was amazing, oh yeah, that guy, fucking hell. And every one of them, this Logan is just like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why was he so good? Why am I so shit? Like, how did that happen? And then, the conversation with her can be, you can stop being shit whenever you want. Just one decision away. And, there's this like insecurity, this heavy history of his. It shouldn't hold him back from doing what he clearly wants to do. Like, he's come this far, he's done this amount of things. He wants to undo the damage to the universe. He clearly wants to. So do it. Stop being like you could even have it be a little bit harsh to him as he is to her in Logan, right? When he's like, shut the fuck up. Well, I really like their interactions throughout Logan. I quite enjoy the relationship that's developed. And she can rely on that. She can talk about how, you know what? You remember when Happy has to explain that Iron Man can't even live up to Iron Man? He's like, the legend that was created by the time he died. These are human beings that are behind all of these masks and stuff. And
Ironheart will sort that out, mate.
Oh, fuck that. So Logan, if she told him, like, Logan was kind of an asshole. He was difficult. He did not enjoy a lot of what he did in life, but he did it because it was the right thing to do. Like, describing the character in the film Logan, and to make it clear to this Logan, the best one is really not that far away from you. He had to deal with all of the X-Men dying in his universe. He had to take care of someone who fucking hated him at times, being Professor X. Those two's relationship in that film is very difficult as well.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, he wouldn't take care of me at first. He had to be convinced. He had to be pushed into it. He was drinking all the time. It's like, you think you've been built up this image of this incredible Wolverine, but the truth is, like, you're not far away from him. You're really just one decision away. And I feel like we could incorporate, if you guys remember, in what Colossus says in Deadpool 1 to Wade. He says, like, to be a hero really isn't, like, constant. It's just one moment in 5 in your whole life where you make a really important decision. We could bring that back with Deadpool explaining that to Logan. I feel like there's so much we could work with, but the film did a very surface level corporate, like, boom, boom, boom. She says, be a good person, then he is a good person, and that's where we're at.
Sure.
Real quick, this is why you don't use the polyurethane bags on your comics. Okay. See this? Pop, sealed together. I have to, like, peel it off. I have to take my fingernail to peel that off. That destroys your comics. Like, absolutely. That's why you have to, if you put them in the polyurethane every 4 to 5 years, remove them all and replace them. That's why it's better to go Mylar, because you don't have to. Once you're done, they're done forever. It's a little more expensive, but worth it in the long run. There you go. That makes it a comic book show. Hell ripoff. Yeah, it's corporate. It's all corporate in a year of like, What definitely factors in is context, time, how much the year, like how much has been shit. And we're in a year of fucking sequels, prequels, repurposed TV shows. I mean, how much original shit has come out this year? Like outside of the indie sphere. And we've had some original horror. That's great. But like, as far as tentpole is concerned, like it doesn't exist. Doesn't fucking exist. And Disney just came out and announced a bunch of more repurposed TV shows, prequels, and sequels.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hollywood's fucking saved. No,
Yay.
this is yay. Don't worry. We'll be back to Marvel business as usual, with everybody hating it when Agatha comes out in a month. So
I suppose
I just 2 secs. We have different opinions in film. That's great. We've got different opinions in the Snyder Cut. We've got different opinions in everything else. We love each other.
I
Everyone
own the
knows that. No one
Snyder
gives a
Cut.
shit.
I own that bitch on 4K.
Me too. And I'm gonna get Mauler to sign it when I see him.
I can't wait. Me
I
too.
would genuinely do that if you wanted me to.
I'm gonna get Deadpool and Wolverine. I want him to sign both of them.
Yes, please. Yeah, of course. You know, I think this film's got things that can change. I did give it an 8 out of 10. Because I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I left personally thoroughly entertained. I absolutely agree. I think there was elements here that we can go and we can create a really much better story, much more nuanced story, much more heart. I think there was some heart in the film, like I said, but much more heart. Absolutely. I am all on that street with you. The road I cannot go down is that this is worse than Ahsoka. I cannot go down that road. I cannot.
I think they're both trash. I think Ahsoka does less damage. That episode did less damage to Star Wars than this did to Deadpool and Logan.
Maybe the episode, but not the series, not the character.
Well, that's all I was saying.
I think the character's done overall damage to all kinds of fucking Star Wars, like worse than anything.
I think because I didn't mention Vanessa. What they did to her was fucking sad.
She's an entity in this film.
Exactly. The first one and the second one.
Okay. Maybe they should have left her dead in the second one.
I don't. Why is that better?
Because they undid everything. They did a little time thing and undid it, and it was funny. But maybe they should have left her dead. You know.
Yeah.
So the reason why I don't think it actually undoes the meaning of her death in the second one is that a lot of the journey in the second one is trying to figure out why he does what he does if she's gone, and then he figures out by the end that it's because there's a lot of people. I know, and I agree with you, Gary. I don't like Russell. I think he's annoying. But the point he represents in the film, which is reflected in Cable and in Deadpool, why does anyone do anything good when the whole world is horrible? Like Deadpool often tries to argue the world itself is a fucking miserable disaster. A lot of the stuff that happens in it is horrifying. But that in Deadpool 2, he makes the point to Russell that like there's people in the world worth doing good for. It's worth helping them. It's worth being there for them, and then they'll be there for you. It's a big. He says the film is about family at the beginning, right? It's kind of a meme, but it is true by the end. And I think that you consider Colossus has been trying to get through to him somewhat with that. Cable is doing what he's doing to save his daughter and his wife, but he's trying to kill a kid in that film, and eventually realizes through Deadpool he didn't have to kill the kid at all. He just needed to get the kid on a better path.
They completely skip who Cable's parents are.
Well, okay. So my point obviously is just that they nail the theme of we do it for people, but then he gets her back on top of it. Point being, he learned why he should be a hero beyond her, which I think is good, honestly. Like, don't just be a hero. Because,
dude, Deadpool 2 is way better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, and they're talking about having a kid. Their love is at like the peak, and then she leaves him because he's no longer interested in being a hero, which is completely counter to
somewhere off screen. Did they mention it on screen that they miscarried? She miscarried.
People have been saying that. I haven't got any references for that.
I didn't either. I think that's just an internet.
I think it might be just
Yeah, I think that's just the internet thing because they did not mention what happened to Cher. Yeah,
they don't mention. I think because she wasn't there, or the baby.
I rewatched it again and liked it. Deadpool 2, liked it way more. Like, got way more out of it, and then went just as hard on Marvel in that movie.
Yeah,
Black Widow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it again. God damn, there's some fucking good ones in that one. When he does the basic instinct thing, it's just
Well, and that's the other thing. I love the contrast because consistently Cable is fucking annoyed with them every time they do these jokes. He never like breaks that sort of perspective. But because I mentioned this on a different stream, but I really love at the end when the guy Russell's trying to kill is running away, and Cable sees him and says, "He even runs like a pervert." And then Deadpool says, "It's like the government are about to find his laptop," or something like that. You know, they do the joke together, even though like I like that
each other. Yeah, that was good. No, it's what's funny is they even mentioned that he's like tiny Cable because Cable's huge in the fucking comics. Yeah, like, he's a huge dude, and he ends up being like tiny Wolverine. And
how tall are you? Like 5'10" or something? Does he say?
And he says, "Zip it, Thanos." At one point.
yeah. So good.
Right, just call the Wolverine at the beginning of the film Hugh. Logan, he calls Hugh. Logan's adamantium skeleton.
He calls him Hugh. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Deadpool 2 is a big build-up to the team-up. He makes a lot of references to it, and of course the ending section where he says, "I'm going to contact you in future, and you better team up with me. We're going to do some fun things."
Right. So, as all great nerd discussions end, nobody changed their opinion on anything.
We had fun. Exactly. It's called a day in my comic shop. This was like an hour in my comic shop. Believe me.
Let's have a look at the poll. Let's end the poll. Let's have a look at the poll. With 4 films provided, best superhero movie ever. In 4th place, Batman Returns. A lot of wrong people. 17%. No, sir. 3rd place, Superman.
Wrong.
With 23%. 2nd place, Iron Man. With 27%.
I'm not going to argue that. Spider-Man 2 is number 1.
Best superhero movie of all time, Spider-Man 2.
You can't get mad at people for that.
They
just weren't there. They weren't there. They're young. They weren't there for Superman. They don't understand how fucking huge that movie was. Superman was on the precipice of being as big as Star Wars. Everybody had an S shirt on. It was fucking massive. And then the producers fucked it up in the second one. Like 5 Ways to Sunday got rid of Richard Donner. His cut is far superior than the Richard Lester one.
Yes,
and if it would have come out in theaters, it would have been a massive fucking hit. Because like they set up the real Superman, the one who saves people. They had him fight Lex Luthor. Then he was up against like supervillains, right? And then
criminals.
Yeah.
But the Donner cut of if you have not seen the Donner cut of Superman 2, you are doing yourself a disservice because it is so much better than the theatrical cut, and it's it takes it, dude. Kid gets murked.
Yeah.
Kid gets murked.
Yeah.
And the way that Superman's identity is revealed in the Donner cut is different.
It's different.
Is different than the theatrical cut. In actual fact, it's pretty fucking. Ooh, if that went wrong.
Yeah.
Could have had a moment. So let's jump into some supery duperies. Zach Muffin with a $5 says, "Hey, Moopshley, I dare you to convince Harambe and the bigot over there that Borderlands is in the same tier as Deadpool and Wolverine. Hail the Fellowship's Tism takes." I think I've
not seen it.
Hey, which one's the bigot?
You.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm the Harambe because I'm the silverback, innit?
Borderlands is fucking retarded. It's a dumb movie. That's my official review.
Gary,
and I was what?
Who's the bigot?
I just wanted to make sure it was me. That's all.
Can I be it? Can it be me?
No.
Is that your mentality? Can it be me, please?
Pick me.
Hunter Dvorak with a $10 says, since it was recently an entire decade since the legendary Robin Williams sadly left us. Any of you got a favorite film or stand-up bit of his? God, I miss that man.
Live at the Met.
Well, true story. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine yesterday, talking about what a great villain he was in Insomniac. It was a completely sort of new, new side. I loved Insomniac. I fucking loved it.
Live at the Met, I own all of his comedy albums on vinyl. Been a fan since day one. I was driving by his town when that happened, when we got the news. I was driving by his town. I was driving back from work up in Northern California. It was crazy. But his best role, his best.
I mean,
role.
I love Good Will Hunting, not the most obvious answer.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I'd have to think about that.
I don't think Insomniac's his best role, but it's just what I was literally talking about that yesterday.
Well, I mean, to mention the obvious would be Aladdin, Good Morning Vietnam, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, Fisher King. 1,000 times Fisher King.
So many good films, man. Fuck. Yeah, but we were talking about how fucking miss fucking Robin Williams big time.
Yeah. Yeah, the world's not in a better place with
no.
And his Pacific Heist house, he was
World According to Garp is fantastic.
So he came into my comic store a couple of times. He was a big comic book and action figure collector, so he went to everybody's comic store. Was really quiet, super nice guy. And Pacific Heights, which is the rich part of San Francisco, so the way they trick or treat in San Francisco is different. People don't, it's not set up to trick or treat in your neighborhood, so you go to specific neighborhoods to trick or treat, and then the neighborhoods kind of close off their street in some places, and we'll do themes. So he would do like his daughter Zelda will be out front passing out candy, like, and the best candy. So all the kids like went to Pacific Heights to trick or treat, and you could go to Robin Williams' house and trick or treat, and he was super fucking cool about it. So yeah, like the dude was a legend, a fucking legend, and he's missed. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
that sucked. Yeah, 2014 and then 2016 were just horrible for celebrity deaths. Fucking lost Bowie. It's 2016. We lost Prince. Jesus.
Carrie Fisher,
Tom Petty.
Fucking hell.
Remember 2016?
Hans Gruber.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Fisher King, that's a Terry Gilliam classic with Jeff Bridges playing a Howard Stern type of radio show host. And he's got this regular caller that calls in, and he goes and shoots up a bar, and later on and the radio, Jeff Bridges' character feels responsible and starts like spiraling, and he runs into this homeless guy who's Robin Williams, who kind of brings him up out of his spiral, and they kind of help each other. It's a really fucking cool movie, and it's surrounding the Holy Grail. It's about looking for the Holy Grail. You never seen Fisher King, dude?
No.
What? Oh my God, it's one of Terry Gilliam's best.
Okay, I'll get on that.
I do believe Robin Williams was at least nominated for an Academy Award for that.
Wasn't Dead Poet Society? Wasn't he nominated for Dead Poet Society?
Oh, he should have been.
Am I misremembering? Hunter, great super dude. Well, you're looking at that. I shall carry on. Legalize adulthood with $100. Mr. Penis looks at the Borderlands and says, "Where the white women at?" Oh, it's Borderlands. Well, he ain't no D+ pansexual. Ain't gonna diddle claptrap. Screams for the bikers as he runs through D23 and removes all the tampons from the men's bathrooms.
Yeah, Academy Award nominations for Fisher King, Best Supporting Actress, Best Supporting. I think that's Amanda Plummer. No, it was not Amanda Plummer. It was the girlfriend. I'm forgetting her name. The girlfriend of Jeff Bridges, but Amanda Plummer was in that as well. Best Original Screenplay, Best Original Score, Best Production Design. These are just nominations. Great fucking movie. Great fucking movie. Watch it.
Lots of people different. I tell you what, all the people that said Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm fucking with you. It's one of my favorite fucking Robin Williams films.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's a great movie. And it was his
film.
house in Pacific Heights that they filmed that in.
Was it
the one we trick or treated at? Yeah.
Oh man.
Chris Columbus.
Legalized Adulthood also gifting 20 memberships to the stream. Dude, you are just way too much, man.
Good Morning Vietnam. Fucking great movie.
Ooh.
Great movie.
David Hand gifting 10 memberships to the stream. David, thank you so much. Sir Lopez with a $5 says, Gary, you should ask this. Is As guy to be a guest. Oh, you should ask this As guy to be a guest on a Friday Night Tights. Also, this stream is gayer than the Acolyte. Well, that's because we're all on it.
Okay, I mean, like, that's true, by the way. Yeah, we'll ask Az to come on as a guest. I'll get my Ouija board out and see if I can contact the spirit of Az. Yeah, we'll bring him on.
R.I.P. Az.
Some point.
By the way, J Mac had just dropped today.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna give him a good long fucking break.
Gary's getting he's getting his lasso. He's fucking. He's
trying to come crawling back. I don't want to be on it, but you miss you guys. No.
Oh my god, the fucking projection on you, mate. Fucking hell.
Whatever. Projection what?
Yeah. You'd be there going, please.
Oh shit.
J Mac just gifted 50 fucking memberships to the stream. J Mac, thank you, you fucking lovely sausage. I'm gonna get that in because there's a lot of supers today, so I wanted to say that before we got in case we didn't make it all the way through. Mikey Gosler has been a member for 16. Good to see you, Mikey. Good to see you, man. Thank you, Mikey. But Mikey is another great guy. Mikey has a lot of different opinions to us. He
disagrees with most of what we say.
And we disagree with most of what Mikey says, but he's not fucking scared to voice his opinion, and we're not, so good on him.
Bless Mikey.
We fucking love that guy. Fucking love him. Piston with a €6 says, in Rebel Moon, what is the best fuel for a space god? 1, coal. 2, bricks, Acolyte. 3, Boogie with all his lies. 4, Mr. Beast's burning career. Real answer, please.
Mr. Beast's burning career could probably power entire fleets. Now, I don't know if his career is burning or not, to be honest with you. That guy's pretty protected, dude.
It is getting fucking fucked up. It is getting fucking, man.
His channel is unironically enormous, so if he never acknowledges it in a video, he might just be able to scale past.
I think he'll be fine. No, he's a corporation. He's not a YouTuber anymore. He's like a giant mega corporation.
Yeah. That
I will say, I'll have to tell Az who I heard this from, but somebody chimed in, and Amazon. So Amazon, when they signed him up, the reason they signed him up, and this is after Rings of Power and The Boys. The reason they signed him up is they, quote unquote, needed a hit. Why would you need a hit? You have The Boys. You have the Rings of Power that was watched by 1 trillion people.
Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time. Why would you need a hit? So, and the negotiations went, they gave him full power over his show. Advertisers, everything. And now they're getting cold feet. They're getting cold feet. So I don't know what happens. He's a powerful dude.
Curious.
All I know is that Wheel of Time's lost a lot of fucking money.
It did. And so has Rings of Power, which is a mere 2 weeks away.
And how deep are they? They're 800 million into their budget of $1 billion or something.
They put $1 billion into it total when you count the move from New Zealand to the UK. Yes, $1 billion. That means you have to recoup that in subscribers, because there's no real merchandise out there that can recoup that. You're not licensing out to anybody else. There's no revenue flow from this show other than subs to Amazon Prime.
And that is why we now have fucking adverts on our paid subscription channels.
Oh, and you will on every single one. There will be a time where you will not have a choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Zach Muffin became a member of the channel as well. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. Mikey Gusler with a $20 says last real BBC as disagree with Mauler and I's take on The Last Stand being better than Deadpool and Wolverine. As can you please explain why you think Deadpool and Wolverine is better than Last Stand and why it's terrible? I think we've had
X-Men The Last Stand.
Yeah, I think Mauler did a pretty good fucking job himself during our discussion. Where it's just all over the place.
I don't hate X-Men The Last Stand. It's just like it's, as Mahler said, it's got some wacky moments. For one, the length of the Golden Gate Bridge changing dramatically when they lifted up and then they changed it. It's like, have you ever been by the Bay Area? There's a big difference in the fucking length of the bay between Alcatraz Island and going over to the Marin. It's fucking insane. But
yeah, I think Mikey, I think we've kind of crossed that bridge doing today. I think it's probably been rather tasty. I had a bit of a nice morsel with today's chat. I fucking loved it. That was great. Zach Muffin with a $5 says, "Can't stop me now. I'm a sorcerer. Watch me cast fireball on all these matchstick-looking mongoloids to clear the way for my attack gorilla." That'll be me. That'll be fucking me, baby.
Yep.
Lance with a $5 says, "Can you really call it an alien-thon? After all, there is only one alien movie. Two.
There's two.
There's two alien movies.
There's
Only
two.
one. Damn.
No. That's like it's a razor fist take, and that's a guy I love unconditionally, but he's wrong.
Me too. But he likes well cooked fucking steak. So
well, no, I completely agree with him on that.
So everybody can be wrong, Gary. You're right.
He
Everybody
hates
can be wrong,
pineapple on
Gary.
pizza, and he thinks Aliens is crap. And I'm like, no, they're just two completely different movies, and that's what I like about the two of them. One's a horror film, and one's a straight up action film. One's a straight up action revenge film. And
I
then
was having this
none of them
discussion
exist.
yesterday with somebody as well. Yeah.
I love David Fincher as a director. Alien 3 is trash. It's garbage. It's fucking horrible. Alien 4 is a joke. You want to talk about a parody, Mahler? That one's a joke. And it's written by Joss Whedon. And then, like,
really?
I would
Wait. Resurrection. By Joss Whedon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool. That's
Alien
5.
Resurrection.
Yeah, that's 5, isn't it? Yeah.
Sorry, I said Resurrection. I meant to say Resurrection. My bad. And like I would watch Alien versus Predator before I'd watch Alien Resurrection and Alien 3. And that's goofy. That's a goofy fucking movie series, but I like the comics a lot. And then Prometheus and Covenant.
I didn't even see Covenant.
They shouldn't have been Alien movies. If they weren't Alien movies, they'd be better.
Yeah, they should have just called them retarded fucking idiots in space, and it would have made more sense.
Retarded idiots. It's not just idiots. It's retarded idiots.
It's
Does that
retarded
count loud?
idiots.
Does that make them smart?
Yeah. Looking for fucking brain cells, searching space for brain cells. But yeah, so I'm going to chat with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about what we would do if we did the film versions of Resident Evil. If we were in charge of bringing Resident Evil to the big screen, and my take was you do the first one in the manor and you make it the horror film. It is the horror film. It's the
those are the
claustrophobic
Mila
horror film.
Jovovich films, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm with you.
And then I was like, and then
when
you do Resident Evil 2 and you do it in Raccoon City, then it becomes Aliens. So you treat Resident Evil and Resident Evil 2 as Alien and Aliens. That's the horror and then the action horror. Mikey Gusler again with a $10 says, "Gary, don't forget to invite Jay Longbone to Friday Night Tights for August the 23rd's discussion on the Crow remake. Please don't invite one of your typical boring guests like a political or British." Wow, Mikey is not holding back today.
Wow.
I guess I won't be the guest then, eh, Mikey?
Nor will I.
Yeah, Morley and I are off the table.
What political guests? We can bring on Benny, and Kurt's a comedian. He's not political. He's a comedian. Kurp is a comedian. Yeah.
Mikey's had his fucking vegetables today.
Yeah. No, you know why we bring on Benny? Sorry, we bring on Benny because he gets it. You don't even
He
have to
understands
agree.
the importance of
He
pop
understands the important, and he tries to understand, and he gets. Yeah. He's a good dude. Most of them don't. Most
culture.
of them don't.
I'm perma banned from FNT. Gary fired me. I read it on a Twitter post.
No, well, I mean, technically, because you walked away because you wouldn't take the 75% cents. You wouldn't take the 75 cents. You were pissed at my counter offer.
Gary, I get paid $1. I want two. Hit my counter. My counter offer is 75
As
cents.
needed his Friday nights free to stream because his sleep pattern was off and he needed it free to play video games till 4 o'clock in the morning. I understand that.
Yes. I mean, it's fucking good for me.
What?
Hi, King Fëanor. Alpha Chad,
Alpha Chad, what's up, brother?
With a $5 says, greetings, boys. Should have my first video out next week concerning how they're butchering Sauron in the Rings of Power. Thanks for the inspiration. Cheers.
He has been slaughtering people on Twitter.
Good boy.
With facts.
Good
That's
fucking boy. Good fucking boy.
Yeah.
Beast. Eric Brown has been a member for 13 months. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. JRL1436 with a 10 says, hello, gentlemen. Still working on my fantasy story. Unfortunately, lost 60. Oh, my God.
What?
60 hours worth of material. So working on rewriting stuff. Oh, my God. Anyway, thank you for all for being yourselves and have a blessed day. Yeah, dude, you got to. Oh, my God. You got to back up on hard drives and shit like that, man. Or cloud that motherfucker.
Sorry to hear it.
Sean Godley with a $10 says, as is it true that you left FNT because Gary wanted you to give him the old schlurpo while he played with your tipples? I can neither confirm. My lawyer has advised me to neither confirm nor deny those accusations, Sean. Never trust a man who likes pineapple. Hey. No need to get fucking. Wow. That's how Jeremy.
Sean, those messages were supposed to be private.
Yeah.
I resent this.
That's how Jeremy became D-gay Cobra. Oh,
I'm gonna send a lawyer with the NDA.
Oh, damn! I haven't put the tipples on the.
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Tipple. I need to put that on my thing.
Tipples.
Hey, Molly, have you been following any more of this nonsense going on now?
I don't know if there's anything much of note, unless you're thinking of something particular.
Well, he had his tattoo, light,
yeah,
and he's had it under the beard line, right? When he's like this, and he's growing his beard back out to cover it. We all know he's doing that, but because he's like head on, it looks like he doesn't even have a tattoo on his face.
That was the plan. It was never a real thing. Like,
no.
People have said, it may as well be, or rather, it is fake. And I've said several times, it may as well be. It makes no difference. Like, even if it were real, you can't fucking see it.
No. Forehead
or no. Like, that was the deal, and they didn't do it. So there you go.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it because it would be effective.
Yes. I like your idea. Liar. On the fingers, so every time
that's way better.
Every time he's typing, he sees it himself. Liar.
I would have thought the forehead indefinitely. I'd have been like, forehead or fuck off. But there we are.
There we are.
Project 17 with a 50-month membership. Thank you. Andre Medelsky with a 50 check says, hey guys, good to see you. I returned after a week from Brutal Assault Metal Festival. Happy boy.
Oh, hell yeah.
How y'all been doing and what did I miss? Oh, stuff and things. Doing good. Marksman of 117B with a $2 says Twisters is a fun movie. Highly recommended.
Guess what? You can now watch it at home. It's so fucking stupid. Yeah, I just saw it on Twitter. It says watch Twister at home. And it's available for on demand. That's so fucking dumb because like the movie had good word of mouth.
Yeah, it was doing good.
It was doing good at the box office. It's like, what the fuck? They're so stupid and they're fucking over theaters.
It's third in the theaters at the minute.
Yeah, I just saw it on Twitter today. Watch Twisters at home. Twisters movie, watch at home now.
It's still at 3,664 theaters, and you've just put it on people's TVs.
So fucking dumb. And yeah, I'm gonna watch it at home now. I was actually gonna go to the theater and watch this though.
So I would have.
Maybe I still will. But because Melissa wanted to go see it, and I'm like, yeah, it looks fun. It looks fun. Whatever.
Oh, I know why they're doing it. Because it's doing good domestically. It's doing shit internationally.
Oh, internationally. Okay, yeah. Well, because I guess tornadoes mostly in America. I mean, they happen everywhere.
You got
right?
tornado seasons and shit, don't you?
But we have like actual tornado seasons, and it's pretty bad here. It's kind of crazy. Our weather does get fucking insane in this country, like insane. Like our regular storms are probably worse than here in Texas. That are worse than anything you see in the UK.
I bet. I believe you.
They're fucking nuts.
I believe you. 100%. Jess Scott with a $10 says, "Hey gang, Gary, if you were starting out collecting comics and my favorite characters are the Fantastic Four, what would be the first one that you would buy?"
If I was if you're starting to collect and you want and this all budgetary because it's not even feasible right now, we'll just assume, to go at the beginning and buy Fantastic Four #1. So where you start, where I built my collection, rebuilt it because I had a bunch of scattered ones. I started with the John Byrne era, very affordable back issues. I'm blanking on the number now. It is in the help me chat 200s, early 200s.
John Byrne for Fantastic Four.
John Byrne Fantastic Four starts out.
I know it's 96 for X-Men.
But you start at the John Byrne one because it's a good, it's a really fucking good. It's pure Fantastic Four. And then as time goes on, work your way back.
There you go. MJ UK 84 with a 10 Canadian says, "Hey boyos, Mauler, I'm visiting Cardiff next month. Thoughts on where to go? Gary, I know you're a nervous flyer, yeah?
Yes,
remember,
232, by the way.
Okay.
232.
Remember, 100% of flights have always come back down. Hope that helps."
Yeah, so I'm trying to psych myself out and get ready for the Peru trip where I have to take 3 fucking planes down there. What does X-Ray send me? X-Ray girl send me in our Forbidden Frontier thing to cover that fucking plane that just falls right out of the sky. I'm like, now I'm not going. Now I'm just not fucking going. I'm gonna go, but like, Jesus.
Walk to Peru. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure with the $5 says, "I see Az and Gary are rocking some quality shirts." Yeah, you got a nice one on. I got a Yaira one on. Your boy. Too bad Mauler can't wear shirts since he's a massive tentacles. True.
Well, he's got a shirt. It's just he's got little holes for the tentacles. Yeah. Eric sent him a custom Isom shirt. No, this goes really well with my Padre hat.
Can I just say, by the way, that earlier Supercharsky way to go in Cardiff. You have to hold your reactions, okay? Because I could suggest going to Castle Koch and St. Fagans. I'm surprised the second one would have got a bigger reaction, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, you
What's
can
the
go
second one? What's the second one?
St. Fagans.
So when you're in Cardiff, you can go to VG's Donuts. You can go down to George's Beach. You take Birmingham.
Listen to Mauler. Have some
no. You don't have to go there. You can get some really good donuts. So you get off of I-5 in San Diego. You take Birmingham towards the beach, and you're in Cardiff. It's called Cardiff. And there's VG Donuts. There's George's Beach. Some pretty good breaks there for the surfer bras. So yeah. There's also a State Beach campground there. Yeah.
Go to see Cardiff Castle and Stadium, and
definitely
St. Fagans.
You can't see the Doctor Who experience anymore because they shut that down.
He shut it down
the same year they announced Jodie as the Doctor, and they had a huge Doctor Who experience there that looked fucking awesome.
Oh well.
OG Star Wars with a $5 says, "Did anyone catch the Amber Heard nod in Deadpool and Wolverine? The quote of the guy with scissors for hands." Forks. He said the guy with forks for hands. So it wasn't an
Amber Heard is gone.
Yeah,
she is done. Yeah. Absolutely fucking done. Forever.
She'll be sucking dick for coke for the rest of her life.
It's arguable that she was probably already doing that, just considering it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know,
fair enough. Fair point. Yeah. Andre CR has been a member for 29 months. Says, I hope that no one plays with their flutes in Alien Romulus.
well, I won't. No, I'm going with the family.
Sam Smith has been a member for 26 months. Yeah, I've seen that Tom King either wants to or has been given Wonder Woman till issue 100. Tom, I ate my rat. Wonder Woman.
Tom, bitch, former CIA employee.
CIA,
massive CIAIO and massive fucking mommy issues. Cuck motherfucker King.
I
don't like him.
Signer of I will not rape my employee.
Yes.
My
Did
other
sign
employees.
the I will not rape my fellow employees pledge passed around. That wasn't a good enough, by the way.
No.
For all the mid-work girlfriends that were working through and still work throughout DC and Marvel and edit IDW, mid in life, mid in intelligence, not even mid in talent. That would be an achievement if they were mid in talent. That helped destroy. Yeah, James Gunn's Tom King
writing team. Yes,
James Gunn's Tom. What a fucking writing room with Drew Goddard and Tom King. I just hope it's Drew Goddard going, shut the fuck up. That's what I think. That's how I imagine it in my head canon. Not a fan of Tom King.
Nah, not really.
Dude, that fucking bait and switch with Batman is so infuriating. For one, it should have never happened. Can we just talk? I talked about that a long time. Batman ain't gonna fucking marry Catwoman. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. But he's
sad.
But he's sad.
I'm so sad. I'm so
And they
sad.
built it up. And they built it up to issue 50. And they had this huge fucking event where people were going to like get married and have mock weddings and shit. And then she bails on him. Holy shit. And his name was like on the rise at that point. His name was on the rise. Yeah.
And then he kills Alfred.
Fucking
What?
Yeah.
And Tom King
It's like mind control or some bullshit. Or?
No, he had Bane break his neck.
Yeah.
And kill him in front of Damian Wayne.
How was that received?
Not well.
Tom King was removed from the book. He didn't get to finish his 100. He's removed from the book and replaced by James Tynion IV.
Jim Lee is a terrible leader. He's a fucking dog shit leader. Might be a nice guy, really popular comic book artist, terrible leader of DC.
Great fisher, great fisherman.
Sure.
Great casher of paychecks. Useless fucking leader.
Yep.
Oh, DC's in a fucking mess. Albert Nada Retro with a 10 Canadian. Don't know if you heard it, but because of your achievements and Boogie's failures, I've gotten back in my weight loss efforts. Nice.
Yeah.
I hope to start giving updates sometime in September. You go. Well done. Well done.
Dude, I'm not going to argue with Jim Lee fans. Jim Lee fans love him. Great artist.
Great artist.
I will say popular artist.
Sure.
Not the best artist, no. Proportionally very off on a lot of his stuff. You know what art I was showing you guys. You know what I fucking miss? I'm not saying it's on the level of well, it might be. Because of Jim Lee and the Image era, it really fundamentally changed comic art. And I think it just really needs to like remember what it was, which was comic book art. And we're gonna just go to some rando fucking let's go to a random Micronauts comic. You don't see shit like this anymore. This is a random Micronauts comic with Molecule Man. Look at there it is. And this looks 1,000 times better than any of the dog shit we're getting now. And it is like, this is comic art. This is like real comic art. And this is a random book. I think we got, I think it's Bill Mantlo here and Pat Broderick. Storytellers and artists. Look, even the ads are better. We got Hulk sipping a little tea.
Yeah, boy.
He microwaved it. Yeah.
Fuck off.
Face off.
Mike. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Dude, the Hostess ads are fucking better. Okay.
I used to love the Hostess adverts and Twinkie adverts. Yep. I remember. Ministry of Wrong Think with the $20 is Borderlands, aka the Red Hat Society of Magical Girl Bosses. You can have that one for free. Went with a bunch of granny get your guns because most Zoomer actresses are snarky, insufferable brand liabilities who can't even act. I mean, it didn't exactly do anything for this film either. Let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, doesn't Alien Romulus? I mean, people have been saying it's aliens kill Gen Z. You know,
which is good
selling point. And Mahler, we were discussing it a little bit, Mahler and I, and I'm like, I thought this would be all right. I was kind of looking forward to being like kind of okay, like, but then Chris gets back and goes, no.
I thought I was gonna have to be the Debbie Downer, and people would be like, it's okay, and I'd be like, it's awful, but okay. But now it's looking like it's gonna be even worse.
It apparently it just rehashes a bunch of stuff, and okay, so Robert Marburnett posted out that they rearranged the tagline.
Oh God,
from the original Alien.
Was that? I think that was just some kind of social media.
It probably was. I think yes, it was. It was some marketing thing, right? And I'll get it right here from Robert Meyer Burnett. Hail Robert Meyer Burnett, who does point stuff like this out. Here we go. I will share it. Boom, boom. There we go.
If you need any more proof of how clueless people who work at studios these days really are, the marketing staff can't even get the best tagline in cinema history correct. Does it matter? Probably not. But yes, it fucking does. Does nobody bother to do their jobs these days? No one can hear you scream in space. Oh my God.
So I responded. To be fair, it's better than the original one. No one can hear you scream in space because it's nearly a perfect vacuum, which means it contains almost no matter and no medium for sound waves to travel through. They just cut it down.
This is there's a genre of statement about a film that this is included in. Another one would be, which one is your favorite Star Wars film? And they say the one with Darth Vader. You'd be like, it's that they know the thing, but you also know they don't know the thing. Yeah. They're like, they had an experience with it at some point.
That is fucking hell. Just get off my screen, Gary, please.
Oh yeah,
I'm begging you.
It's cool.
The Wolf from Heart has been a member for 14 months. Thank you. Can't remember that character. But never mind. Sergeant Strings with a £20 this afternoon, gents. Started watching Buffy at your recommendation, and it's great. I just finished watching The Body. And was reminded how good a TV show can be if someone has the talent. Sarah Michelle Gellar is really good at emotional acting.
It's heartbreaking. Doesn't even cover it, that one.
No. Well, hey, Mahler, did you see the tweet going around? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Of the person saying, I think they were upset about Game of Thrones. No, they were upset about Umbrella Academy, which apparently ended like dog shit, which hasn't been good since season 1. But they said, has there ever been a good season 4 of television? I'm like,
Star Trek Next Generation,
Deep Space Nine,
Breaking Bad, right?
Twilight Zone, Breaking Bad,
yeah.
Game of Thrones, fucking there's been a lot. Battlestar Galactica, fucking Buffy.
Go on.
Okay. MASH. Yeah, like Burn Notice. There's a lot of good season 4s out
Columbo.
there. A lot of good season 4s out there.
Yes. So there you go. Edward Morris with a $5 says, saw Spider-Man 2 when it was replaying a few months back, and I never realized how obvious it was that May knows he's Spider-Man. Made me rethink it all.
Oh, Stranger Things. You're right. That's a good season 4.
Sure. Yeah.
So Spider-Man 2. I got to watch it again. It's
so good,
so fun. And at the time, if you guys remember, at the time, it was actually getting like passed around as possibly being Academy Award nominated because it was so beloved by the critics and the fans both. Now it didn't. It should have been nominated for Best Picture at minimum. It should have been. And back then, just comic book movies weren't. But it was highly regarded and considered at the time the best superhero movie ever made, and which there wasn't many. And X2 was pretty highly regarded too.
X2 is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's an amazing film. But
I recently rewatched that. I do love that film.
Yeah, I do too.
Screenplay by David Hayter.
Yeah.
Solid Snake.
Brian Cox as a striker.
Oh,
dude,
Brian
so
Cox is
good.
So fucking good. So menacing.
He's the kind of actor that probably thinks this is all nonsense, but he'll do the job.
Yes.
Well, a bunch of them are like that, but they're like when they get there, they're pros. They're like, this is my job.
Professional, absolutely.
And they're usually British. Like American actors can't get away with what British actors can get away with because their training is much better.
Rada, baby, Rada. SWA gifted a membership to the stream. SWA, thank you very much. Gary Nerd Erotic with a $5.
What happened to my eye?
I guess you took a shot.
I like the mustache though. I do.
I like the beard. Yeah, I gotta say. Isn't it? That's how you used to have it in San Francisco, wasn't it?
Yes.
Gary, you fiend. Once my rainbow ray is done, he's a villain. That's why he's a villain. He's your counterpart. He's your Dr. Evil to Austin Powers. You'll all be finished. Real BBC will be a different kind of show, if you know what I mean. Join me as my goodness. Realistic Delinquent with a 7 Canadian. Andor, Picard 3, House of the Dragon, all single points of light in the barrows of modern IP. That's all they'll ever amount to. Gary, better Bachelor equals Friday Night Tights guest.
Okay.
No,
we'll look into it.
Better, but yeah.
Is Mikey Gusler okay with it? I gotta check with him first.
Mikey, you got some power. Use it and abuse it quick.
Use it and abuse it.
Yeah. Use and abuse.
I don't know who we have this week. We had to get somebody for for when we finally got our proper British representation with this brew. So
how many times did you use that fucking joke? Can you show me?
We're still using you liking man tits. Well, it doesn't matter if you're there. I used it last week. No, yeah. I don't know who we have on this week, to be honest with you.
Weapon 26 with $10 says Deadpool and Wolverine was exactly like a Deadpool comic. Fun, and also why I wasn't the biggest fan of Deadpool comics. The first two had more heart than Deadpool comics. Also, Mola.
Yes.
Doing a video or discussion on Star Trek, the original series.
I feel like it's mostly covered by the times I brought it up here and there on here, to be honest with you. It's not... I think Star Trek is kind of incredible for what it represents culturally and what it's done, and then plenty of episodes I think are really good. It's still not quite like TOS, and I hope this doesn't upset anybody. It's not quite like my full thing. It's not something that strikes me fully.
It's context matters.
Where are you, by the way? Just FYI.
One episode left, season 2.
Oh, dude, season 3 is where it all kicks off.
I already know what you said about season 3.
I'm not even joking. Season 3 is where it all clicks. All clicks.
Yeah, like, you know, it's a lot different than growing up when you were closer to it, and it doesn't look as old, but like it's also proof of timeless stories can last forever. I can't wait for someday for you. I'm not going to rush you because we both have to watch stuff we've recommended to each other, including Arcane. But Twilight Zone. I want you to watch the original Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I mean, because you want me to go through. So to be clear, right? Because there's someone I'm watching this with. They have heard from their friends that season 3 is not good. You guys would still recommend seeing it? ?
I think you should for context, but there's a few good, a couple good episodes. But it's largely, because things behind the scenes drastically changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because just making sure, because it's going to take a while to watch the whole season.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe hit up RMB and just ask him what episodes you should watch. Because that would probably be the best way to go, and then get right into Next Generation.
Well, as you said, to watch the animated series as well, right?
Yeah, the animated series is fun. I love the animated series.
As you had your heads off for a second, would you recommend skipping season 3, watching a set list, or going through the whole thing
of original TOS?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd watch season 3. Absolutely.
Okay.
Just fuck it. Do it.
There's look, season 3 is not anywhere close to as good as season 1 and 2, sure, but there are some shining lights, and the cast is still the same cast, and they do their great performances for the most part. So I would still have, it's not the same. It's the same fucking guys in it. What's he called? Feischler, Gary, who did season 3 of TOS.
I can't remember.
He was like renowned in Hollywood for just killing fucking shows when he took over. But he did like season 2 of Space 1999. Space 1999 had 2 seasons. Season 1 is fucking phenomenal. Season 2, the same guy that did Star Trek original series, season 3 takes over. Fred Friedberg. Thank you, Fred Friedberg.
Thank you.
Fred Friedberg took over, and season 2 of Space 1999 is like, what the fuck was that? But yeah, I think season 3 is still worth watching.
Okay. Obviously, the only thing is, like, the longer I spend not watching or moving on to TNG, the longer it takes to get to TNG. But I think that's an inevitability, so there's no worry about that unless I get hit by a truck or something. It should be right.
I think it'd be better to be fully informed than partially informed about the whole context of the show. So
sure, if you've got time.
Yeah,
I think from what I've gathered, I've gotten the experience of understanding like the dynamic of Bone, Spock, and Kirk fully now, because I've gotten the vast majority of what I consider the high-rated episodes of the series, and then all 6 films. And I've already said this on past Real BBC, so it's not going to shock anybody, but the JJ films are practically just filled with lies. Like, they're not at all the content that they're supposed to be moving into a new age, like it's but it's a different timeline. So there you go.
Andrew Valdez with a thank you, Gary. With a $5.
Oh, sorry. Next time. Yeah.
I think you actually leaned into the microphone to cough as well.
and I missed the fucking cough button when I was going through. I meant because I have
button.
I see I can do this all day long. I missed the button, so I just leaned into the cough. Fuck it.
Andrew Valdez.
DSP.
Calm down, DSP. Calm down. Andrew Valdez with a $5 says, I don't think there's ever been a more perfect Green Goblin than Willem Dafoe, and there will never be. He was perfect in No Way Home.
He's a perfect Norman Osborn.
Yes.
I would have loved a better costume, but
Yes.
I get that.
He's absolutely a perfect Norman Osborn.
His performance is phenomenal, and I was so fucking relieved that he was given so much good material in No Way Home instead of just being there to punch people. Whatever. Some of those lines, right? Do you remember the you're strong enough to take it all too weak, or strong enough to have it all too weak to take it. That's what he says to Spider-Man. There's a couple lines, and then when Tom Holland's punching him over and over again, he's just laughing at him.
Yeah,
That's
well,
great.
I do like where he's like, I'm gonna kill you, and he's just like, attaboy. You know, it's like, whoa. Just the way he says it. Yeah,
you can tell he loves playing Green Goblin.
Yes,
dude, the Norman Osborn cameo at the end of Spider-Man 2. You know, when Harry looks into the mirror and he sees Norman, his dad, and you get that wonderful exchange. It's just like, fuck, he was so fucking good as Norman. And it's so, and coming, oh man. Woo. So that's some great stuff.
Back to formula.
Albert Nana Retro with another 5 Canadian says
he was great in Boondock Saints, by the way. You're right, chat. Sorry.
Remember Spider-Man 1 where he's like, unfortunately, when you're a superhero, some crazy person will come along and give you a choice, and it's between a bus full of children and your loved one. It's like, so typical. Like he was almost a little more self-aware than any other villain as well.
Yeah. Gary, I said... Sorry, go on.
Just gonna say, he's like Spider-Man's Joker in that he's clearly trying to test him, break him, you know?
Right, yeah. Gary, I sent an email about what I'd like for Thought 5 if they were to make it. It's vague, but if you get a minute or 5, please take a look and see.
I will take a look and see. I've seen the email. Okay. It was for Thor 5, not for Thought 5.
Thought 5? Yeah, nice. I like it.
Thought, Love, and Thunder.
I want to see the first 4 first, though. You know what I'm saying?
I think that one's already been made. But...
Lost for Words has been a member for 38 months. Thank you. Albert Nada Retro again with another 5 Canadian says, Mola, I had to start a crypto coin to cover the costs of the cancer I got when my mother twisted my tipples. I'm not used to this type of scrutiny.
I'm not used to this level of scrutiny. My favorite is still when he's with CoffeeZilla just going, liar, 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 liar.
And the thing is, he doesn't even know he's being recorded then.
Yeah, that's some true boogie shit. That little piece.
He's not well.
True boogie man. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Again, more thank you because they.
Breaking news.
Two wonderful EFATs to be part of.
Breaking news. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You remember a movie called Spider-Man or Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse? And remember that Beyond the Spider-Verse was supposed to be out this year.
January, right? Oh, February, something like that?
Yes. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Beyond the Spider-Verse reportedly won't be released for another 2 to 3 years.
What?
Damn, dude. What happened?
Did they lose a bunch of
data or...
Sony clowned the animators for saying they were overworked, which was funny.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
I think it was dog shit, and these things aren't easy to make. And yeah, you just can't whip up a fucking animated movie that quick. I think a lot of the voice stuff is recorded, but dude, if it's 2 to 3 years, that means they are redoing it.
I mean,
that doesn't sound like it's even in production.
To be honest with you, that timeline would make more sense to me had they not said it was going to be coming out early this year at all. If they hadn't said that, I would have guessed that it was coming out like 3 years later.
It is, and I would have done a much different ending.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if it were releasing it fucking early this year, at least that ending, it wouldn't have been so much of a gap, I guess. But
with how much money it made, you'd think they'd fast track it too.
Maybe there's trouble in getting enough people to work on it. I don't know.
Well, yeah. they're writing down a lot of money. They are cutting a lot of staff. Hollywood is bleeding right now. And yes, we have $2 billion films at the box office. Doesn't mean shit. Disney stock down. Paramount can't even get their fucking sale right. Wrote down, I think, 9 billion, if I'm correct. Warner Brothers wrote down 11 billion because broadcast TV, which they have been propping up for so long, has just collapsed. Absolutely collapsed with ad revenue. So, and streaming has made things worse because streaming was supposed to replace it. And now they've come to the realization that even if they fill all of our shit with ads, it never will, because they have to compete with YouTube and streaming services. And if you look at the chunk that Netflix has, it's impressive. Like how much of the streaming market Netflix has, but Netflix cannot compete with YouTube because it's you guys firing up a microphone. How many videos go up a day on, how many uploads a day on YouTube? Like, I don't even know. It's millions, right?
Yeah.
Immense, yeah.
Yeah. No, Netflix can't keep up with that. So they can't. So they're now competing against the audience. And they can't unless YouTube completely shits the bed and goes full censorship. We'll find out. That's always a possibility. But yeah, they're reeling right now. They are fucking reeling and losing tons of money because Hollywood is past maturity. Hollywood is now going to have to contract, and it's going to be a piece of a bigger pie instead of being its own industry. And that's what they're freaking out about right now.
Japanese demon lord Abir Lucifer with the $2 says, everybody owes UA Ball an apology. No. Nobody owes UA Ball a single solitary apology.
So there's a cameo in Alien Romulus from an alien Rook. And Chris says it's shit.
This is like an after credits bullshit. Like, please don't tell me we're at that point with Alien. They did that in Prometheus.
Well, this is like 1.5, right? That's what I keep hearing. That this takes place between Alien and Aliens. I talked to Uwe Boll. He was pretty cool. I was on the stream with him.
Yeah, he might be pretty cool. His movies are dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pay to see his movies, but he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. There's lots of nice people. It doesn't mean their shit's any good. Nine Monkeys with a $5 says, have you guys read the Alien Dead Orbit comics by James Stokoe? Or Stokoe? He's one of the coolest comic artists out there now. Have not, so no.
Have you read the comic adaptation of Alien that Heavy Metal did?
Oh, no, I have not. I do have some Kelly Jones Alien from Dark Horse, which Kelly Jones did the art for. Yes,
Kelly Jones. Hail Lynn Jones.
Yes, sir.
And you're out there watching. What's up?
Master Baker 78 has been a member for 19. Says, will they turn the battle, or will they turn? I imagine the battle into an HBO movie before season 3. House of Dragon.
I assume it's just TV strictly, not any movies.
No, it's gonna be TV. Mahler's right. It will fundamentally change the pace of the show.
Yeah, no, I'm really worried about it now. Like, especially finding out when you clip off the end of a season and you're going to put it at the beginning of the next season, it's going to fuck up the whole next season. Not to say that there won't be worthwhile things happening in it, of course. It's just that that's not good. We're not starting from a good position.
JWT6577 has been a member for 17. Thank you. The Pally Dan with a $10 is my favorite Pitchford story. Gearbox bought Duke Nukem. He said, you're finally getting Duke Nukem Forever. Then it came out and it was awful. And he said, we never said it would be good. That sounds like Randy Pitchford. Duke Nukem Forever was horrific. I had to give up on it. I gave up on it. Jose to Beast with a $2 said Deadpool cracking jokes on the MCU was hilarious. Inokmamon with a $10 says the Borderlands film was greenlit in 2013 for a 2015-2016 release. It was stuck in development hell until 2019. It was delayed and shelved until 2024. I think it would have premiered with 100% approval in 2017. Well, depends on who was cast.
Yeah.
And how good. But Jack Black having a claptrap shitting. Run out of channel names with the $5 is Mauler with the correct takes. Deadpool and Wolverine fights to be better than Mom and Ant-Man. Drake Timbershaft with the $5 says Ahsoka should have been called the Resting Bitch Face Show.
I mean, fucking 60% of Ahsoka was just empty calories. Nothing fucking happened in it.
I ain't gonna argue with that. Well, I would actually argue with that. I'd say it was way more than 60%. Sunny Hard R with a $2 says, who will eat the regal alien churros? Logan Bissett with a 5 Canadian says, Mauler, how would you hate Deadpool and Wolverine but like No Way Home? Both are plot hole ridden memberberry slop with terrible scripts.
I have been argued into reducing my like overall perception and score of No Way Home over time, but nothing will be able to make me not like how much they respected Tobey Maguire's pursuit of Spider-Man. That shit was such a fucking W for like how badly that could have gone. They could have made him depressed, alcoholic, who's no longer with MJ. He could have been like sad about being a hero, and that Tom Holland Spider-Man had to inspire him to be a hero again. I would have fucking hated it if they'd done that, but they didn't. They gave him, honestly, like, of the, let's just say the 10 broad ways you could bring him in a good way, they chose one that I thought was like one of the top tiers. It's so respectful, fun, and it was really great to see him back. So if we split story into threads, I see the plot is annihilated, world building and Doctor Strange, they're all damaged significantly, and that brings the score really far down. But it can't go so far down to like a 0, or even to where I think a Deadpool Wolverine is. I think that the efforts and repairing done to Andrew Garfield, the respect given to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I think Tom Holland Spider-Man is given a really good story in that. Then there's what they do with Green Goblin and Willem Dafoe. These are all threads I consider very strong. So it like averages out. And then, yeah, like the thing is about, it's interesting, the whole like, don't like thing. I've never considered it part of my job to like explain which things I like and love versus don't like and don't love, as opposed to the whys behind all of it, like the writing. I figure you guys are not as interested in just me saying, I loved that or liked that or didn't like that or didn't love it. You know, like there's a lot of things that I think are bad that I love. I love Batman and Robin. It's terrible. Like it's hard to explain sometimes, like that dissonance. So like, there's not much point in telling you how much I like or dislike Wolverine and Deadpool or No Way Home. Rather, just telling you what I think they achieved in the writing and whether or not I think it's a sign of things to come in a good way or a bad way.
It's a nuanced discussion. We like stuff, and there's the artistry of it, and then there's just, I just like it. It's a laugh.
The emotion of it.
Yeah, it's just a fucking laugh. Or I like this character. Yeah, I think that's what Mahler does really well. Is you bring the why, not just like this is really good. You know, that's why I like. I've done a couple, but I like spoiler-free reviews are just not things I can do. Or want to do.
I'm awful at spoiler-free review.
Yeah.
Drinker always gets mad at me because he's like, "No spoilers." I'm like, "What the fuck is the point?" Like,
Yeah, I can't fucking do it. I just like yeah. I just not.
But in all fairness, whenever I watch a drink review that is like spoiler free, he always fucking drops a spoiler or two in there.
He
like,
always does. Yeah.
He does.
By the way, I thought you gentlemen might like to know that Mark Guggenheim, who was
I saw your tweet. Yeah.
Producer, of course, on the Arrowverse for the CW, said of the scrapped Green Lantern series that they had, that it was gonna be awesome.
Uh-huh. Hey, James Cameron's working on another Terminator.
Oh, That's right.
What does that even mean? He's fucking
nothing.
constantly working on Avatar. What does it mean for him to be working on a Terminator thing? We're just gonna squeeze out another fucking Dark Fate. Let's not. Let's never touch Terminator ever again.
Yeah, it's dead.
Right, we are coming to that time. So many super chats today, folks. So we will have to do use Sunday as a super chat. Square up. So I'm just going to smash through some of the big boys because thank you very much indeed. Got to give Josh Kelsey for a 20 there. Got to give him his flowers because lovely Josh. Kevin Hunt with a $50 says thanks for letting Mauler rant again. If they had characters like No Way Home that meant anything, this would have been huge. What a terrible film. That's half the fun. I love the fucking discussion. Oh, it was great. I had a lot of fun. The fucking Wolverine, Deadpool, Wolverine, Ahsoka, maybe chat. I thought that was fucking good fun.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
This is what fucking nerds do.
Yeah, it's every fucking day in the comic shop. Every fucking day.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, in all fairness,
and I had
most of the chat was on good time.
Most of it, I was like moderating discussion, so I had to be the referee, and I was a terrible referee. Okay, I'll just say that right now. I'm not impartial. So,
Noons with a 185 AED says nerd discussion. Get the tipples out. Thank you, boys. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. It was. I was like, oh, I was having a good time. I was wiggling my fucking chair. I was having a good time. Hangry is angry.
I'm glad you said your chair, by the way. Just want to point that out.
Angry is angry with a $50 says I turned 50 yesterday. So in memoriam of a life well lived, I'm giving you $50. If movies weren't such crap nowadays, I'd have something to look forward to. Never mind. Thanks for all you do. Special thanks to Mola for shedding the light on Fallout. Amen.
I remember.
Fallout video is great.
God, that was an era, wasn't it? That's already been forgotten. Though season 2 apparently is fast tracking. It's on the way.
Oh, do you know what else has been forgotten? Like a bad habit.
What?
The new Batman show on Amazon.
Oh, Penguin? When's that out?
No, it's all out. It's all out. It's all out.
What do you mean it's all out?
Pumped and Dumped, the Batman cartoon.
Oh, no, I thought you meant the fucking Penguin show.
No. That's HBO, isn't it?
He already forgot it. Yeah, it's forgotten. It's completely forgotten.
Dumped, and nobody gives a shit.
Demanding a season 2, all that bullshit on fucking Twitter. Warner Brothers sold it off because it sucked.
Yeah, they didn't even put it on their own fucking streaming service.
And they suckered fucking Amazon into giving them money, which gave them something to recoup their losses.
Yeah, exactly what the fucking plan was.
Yep.
If we put it on our platform, we are not going to recoup the losses. So we actually do need to license this out. We do need to try and get some money back to recoup for this. Anyway. Magnum North with a $50. The Fisher King sounds like a prison boss with a particular fetish. Barry?
Myth from the Arthurian legend. That's why it involves the Holy Grail in the movie that I highly recommend you all watch. It's emotional. Robin Williams is fucking great in it, though. He's always great. And Jeff Bridges, fucking great in it too.
That was J Max 50 gifted memberships, and I want to read J Max membership one as well. He's been a member for 23 months. He says, I really appreciate you guys having discussions where you disagree. It reminds me and my brothers arguing over show games. You see, Jay gets it. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. You fucking get it. It was fun. It was fucking fun. Fiesta Cat gifting a membership. Thank you. Appreciate that. What do we got? Let's end with one with a $10. If you didn't get your super chat read out, don't worry. This Sunday, afternoon tea with us, I will read all the super chats that I was unable to read today. Appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. Thank you ever so much indeed. So before we pass into the nether realm, it's nice to have something a little bit different, you know. Yes, we do tend to have similar opinions on a lot of things from time to time, you know. So it's nice to have pretty much 3 different opinions on a single movie. I think it leads to quite an interesting little bit of spice.
Comes up every once in a while here and there. We got some bumps in the road, you know.
Real quick, Variety put up an article. George Clooney got a little irritated when Quentin Tarantino allegedly claimed that he's not a movie star anymore. Dude, fuck off. George Clooney isn't a movie star anymore.
No. What was the last good George Clooney movie? Seriously, when was the last
Ocean's
good George
13?
Yeah. Which is what, 2010?
Maybe. I agree with Quentin.
Yeah, Dust Till Dawn. Somebody said, ouch. Before we go, Molly, what would you like to plug?
Well, in quite literally half an hour, we're going to be doing that recording again for House of the Dragon 7 and 8. To try and spice it up a bit, considering the cast have all done it before. I appreciate them all coming back for that, because it's going to be such a fucking boring thing to just literally say what you said again, but sound like it was the first time you said it. So you got that, but we're going to try and see if we can wrangle a certain Ryan Kinnell for this one, actually, as well. He can drop some grenades in there for... He's been... Gary, you'd say he's been remarkably happy with the result, the fan reaction to Hot D, wouldn't you?
Oh, totally. Remarkably happy.
Very sane, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about
our chat was all over the place that night, and that was just early on, and it's like gone downhill from there, you know. But like they did damage. They did. I mean, but people are talking about it, you know. So I don't think it's...
when the 4th season closes out, it's going to be a strange thing to sort of address what that was in totality, right? House of the Dragon, because season 2's been eventful.
Before we go, here's my biggest concern, and this was my biggest concern before the show started. It's how they're going to portray Rhaenyra. Okay, because it's really important that they portray her accurately from the books, because if they don't, the story falls apart.
I mean, even exclusively show watchers have noticed it feels like we've changed a little bit. Season 1, she felt more well-rounded and layered. Season 2, she feels a little bit more infallible, which is not as fun.
Not as fun.
Also, kill Massaria immediately.
I want them to invent a gun in Westeros and blow her head off.
Wow.
Season 3, scene 1, boom, done. Make it auto. Auto riding a dragon with a gun.
Auto, like a musket. Okay, well, musket type of gun.
Sure, yeah. So that, and then
with a wildfire bullet.
So what's awkward is that would be the final slot for episodes we've got before the anniversary, but I think everyone's going to want us to cover Alien Romulus. So the plan, as it stands, as goofy as this sounds, we're going to stream that on Saturday and call it episode 299.5.
Oh.
And then it'll be released officially on Moolah after the anniversary as episode 301. So that's how we're solving that problem. This is just fair warning. It's going to be fucking confusing for people. But, you know, I think people are going to want us to have our takes on Romulus, as alien obsessed as I am.
Yes. I dare say I expect it.
Yes. They'd be all very disappointed otherwise.
Chat have asked me to read out Fear the Tardo. So I will read out Fear the Tardo. With a 5. Tardo hope Jazz play human centipede with sex pay girl Carol Lip and Mr. Pork Butt. Lots of fun when all fall down. Make Tardo laugh. Lock it in. Yay! Gary! Is there anything that you'd like to plug before we go, sir?
Video coming out Thursday. It's a big one, kind of a big picture one. It's a big one, ladies. That's right. And I will be watching Alien tonight and then Aliens tomorrow. So even if Alien Romulus sucks, I get to watch Aliens with the family, which is going to be fucking awesome. And yeah, we got Friday Night Tights show. Some people just decide to quit because they're pussies. It's coming up on Friday.
I can't wait till I come back as a guest.
Oh, you will. You will. We gotta find the right time, man. It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Right time.
It's gotta be the right time. Maybe when Kathleen Kennedy leaves, when she gets that big win, she can.
Yeah.
She leaves.
Okay. I'll see you in 2,000 years.
But that's all. Thanks for watching. I had tons of fun. Chat was great too. So
Yeah.
I'll find out if the Alien 4K is any good. Chat. I will find out tonight. I'm guessing the Aliens one, if Cameron had anything to do with that, it's not a good transfer. But,
So I don't know if you've seen videos on it. I've got the Aliens 4K, watched it with family. It's like, it's words. I'm trying to say it's the kind of experience where you would never notice anything's necessarily wrong with it. However, I've watched a deep dive into it, and I don't know how familiar you are with this for 4Ks, but they have like AI on it, so that upscaling certain elements gets done automatically. And my God,
it's
like
not good. Yeah.
I've seen zoom in. So there's certain people, once they pass a threshold, as in if they are, let's say, 3 meters plus away from the camera, the AI will take care of it, and it'll smoosh their faces into like just disgusting monsters sometimes. The kind of thing that in a casual glance you're not going to notice, but once you are made aware of it, you start being like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
So
it'll get better. The AI will get better, but years off, and it'll never be like sitting in a theater and watching, watching it there. I know somebody was talking about Flash threw up a clip of Batman and how different it was. And yeah, it'll get better, but you got to buy the physical media where you can. The Lord of the Rings extended is great. It's fucking great. It is a great transfer. There's some that are great transfers that are really good. They took their time on and did well, but it's all about like what work you put into it, and studios aren't paying as much, which is a shame. Physical media is the only way to go. Too much grain too. Too much grain in older shit. They put that in. They put it in, by the way, and it's like, fuck, stop.
Definitely physical media is the way to go on everything.
An effort to like reduce the grain, they end up causing new problems.
It does. It does.
See the just before we go, actually, did you see the Batman 1989? What was it? The 35 mil scan of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what Flash showed me. Yeah.
Fucking A, mate. Right. Massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Again, if you didn't have your super chat read out, I will be reading it this Sunday on Afternoon Tea with Az on a super chat square up. That's between 2 or starts at 2 p.m. UK time. The next 2 real BBCs are going to be on Gary's channel, but I will not be there for next week's, but I will be returning the week after, as I'm going to be on Holly Bodies. So huge thank you to everyone who watched today. Moderators, thank you so much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, gifted memberships, thank you so much indeed for supporting the channel. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. Until then, you take care. Goodbye, Belubo.
Bye.
Ciao.